Okay, yes.
Uh, oh, is that actually working this time? It says no data, so no, when it's X and Connect, it said no data. And I was like, oh, for God's sake, not again. Right, apologies there, Stephen, because you were the only one listening. My PC decided that this was the right time to have a hissy fit and shut itself down. So it froze up, and anyway, so we'll start again. Yeah, not much to talk about in terms of transfers, so we're skipping that. We're just going to go straight into the matches, and then we can do the news. We'll do news when Seamus gets here, can't we? Then, so previews.
Okay, nice.
Do we just want to talk? Do you going to talk about all the games, or do you just want to talk about your Everton and Liverpool games and the Man United and that, like the big ones, sort of like?
We might as well go through them. We'll go through the fixture list.
Okay.
They won't take long, because it's the first game of the season, so there's not a much form to go on.
So we'll start on the Friday night. It's Man United versus Fulham.
Yeah, I don't know, you don't do betting, do you? But the price for Manchester United, 4-6, seems a very short odds for a team of their stature. You know, they haven't played well for quite a long time. I know they got to the cup final. I know they won it, but they still don't look like a good side to me, Manchester United. And I don't know whether Zirkzee going to get a run out, so he might come off the bench, I believe. But Fulham, I'll give them a good game, I think. They're not a bad side, Fulham. And I wouldn't be lumping money on Manchester United to win. I think they've got a half-decent side, but not a side that is going to be challenging for anything this year, in my opinion, of course.
But the thing is with Fulham, they can be 1 minute, they can be utter dogma, and the next they're brilliant. So you just don't know what's going to turn up.
Yeah.
So it is a low odds for a side that could easily turn up to be brilliant and absolutely smash them, or they could turn up and be awful.
Yeah. But I wouldn't be lumping any money on United, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I know they're a very low price, but I'm not that. I'm a United supporter, so I wouldn't be that overconfident about starting off the season with a win against Fulham. Because as you say, they can be anything. Fulham.
Yeah, it's one of those where you just, you don't bet on ones like that, let's be honest. Unless the odds are
massive. No, you shouldn't do no.
You think I'll stick a couple of quid on for the sake of it. If I was a betting man, I'm saying I don't bet anyway, as you know. But you'd have to be an idiot to gamble on that, really, because it is a gamble. As a proper gamble, isn't it?
And it's lashing down in the northwest, so I wonder if they fix the roof, or are they all going to get soaked again?
Yeah. Oh, that'd be funny. Oh, yes. God, what a way to start the season, eh?
That would be funny. It's absolutely lashing down in the northwest. But, so... Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't be overconfident it was Man United getting a result today. I think it's a knock-on draw myself, but that's just me, I suppose.
Yeah, it's one of the. Like I said, I just don't know what side will turn up for Fulham, so I wouldn't want to call it either way at all. So.
No.
Yeah.
Do you think Zirkzee will get a start, Chris? Do you think Zirkzee will get a start for United? It was posted that he might be coming off the bench, but I'm not sure. I don't know how fit he is or what's happened with him yet.
They haven't exactly got a lot of options up front now, have they?
No, it doesn't look like. He's injured, yeah. Yeah, he's injured.
Fernandes will likely have to play up front. So I think he'll come off the bench, but I think he'll have to play him simply because they just don't have much in the way of choice of players to bring on, unless they put Rashford up front. That's about it.
And Luke Shaw's out again, isn't he? Injured.
Oh yeah, just for a change, because he's
him. Surprised me that Luke Shaw being injured.
And there isn't even an England game coming up as well, which is.
That's what he does. He just plays for England.
Yeah.
Absolute waste of time.
He's not even a good player, is he?
No, he isn't. No.
I've got to be honest. I do not understand how they got. How he got into. Yeah, because United. Sorry, I was waiting for it to load up the thing. Yeah, United are missing Euro, obviously. Malaysia,
Yeah.
still, whoever it. I mean, has anybody actually seen what he's like? Because I didn't know.
I've already seen him play one game, I think, Malaysia.
Yeah.
He's alright.
I haven't seen him play. Will Fish, I've never seen him play, so he's obviously only a youngster. So Luke Shaw, obviously we know is injured. Rasmus Højlund's out. Lindelof's going to have a late fitness test, and Harry Maguire's out as well. By the looks of it. No, past fit. Sorry, just past fit. Sorry, I
Oh, yeah. Oh, alright.
Yeah,
That's unfortunate.
So that alters the odds in Fulham's favour. Who haven't got anybody out. Funnily enough, they haven't got a single player out injured.
Alright.
Yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't want to put money on a United when I've got to be honest.
No.
Even if the odds were better, I still wouldn't.
Yeah, a couple of lads on the United side were saying they're really looking forward to the season and they expect to be top 4 material. I can't see it myself. I really can't. I don't think they've got the. I don't think they've got the setup. I don't think they've got the players to reach top 4. I could be wrong, of course.
I still think they.
It happened in 1978.
You know what I mean? I just don't.
Yeah.
The forward line.
Yeah, I think the whole team, they're missing players all throughout the side. I think they need at least 3 or 4 players to be competitive. And I don't think they've signed the right players yet. But I don't know about Zerki and I don't know about Euro. But I don't know much about them. But I think they needed more. I think they needed to get rid of a couple. Because it looks like, is Casemiro starting? I'm not sure, I haven't seen the team used, but I think he's just there for final payday. He doesn't see, he's not the greatest player anyway, but I think he's a bit of a liability in midfield. Gives away far too many free kicks and is very slow, in my opinion. That's just my opinion of Casemiro.
Can't pass either.
No.
I've always thought he was overrated. Everyone told me I didn't know what I was talking about, but he was great because he played for Real Madrid. But he's never been a great player, even a particularly good one. He's just been played in a team that never needed him to be any good. Teams like that can carry him.
Yeah. The United can't. They haven't got the players around to go around and to help him. For me. Bruno can be anything. Bruno's a good player, actually. But he's such an arsehole, isn't he, really? A person. You know what I mean? He's always diving and moaning. He is a skillful player, there's no doubt about it. But would you really want a Bruno in your side? Not for me, but as I say, that's just my opinion of him.
Yeah, I understand that. He does produce a lot of good things for them, though. As in, quality of his play. He is important to them. So I can see why they've extended his contract. I mean, it could be anything. That game, they don't have the firepower to make it a safe bet at all.
No.
Should we move on to the early kickoff? Of course, it's fucking Liverpool again, because it's always a fucking early kickoff, isn't it? If there's going to be an early kickoff, it'll be Liverpool playing in it. How the fuck does it work? Every single time it's Liverpool in the early kickoff. Christ, even after the clock goes, we still get that shitty early kickoff. I mean, their games are always freaking awful at that time.
I think it's to do with, subscriptions. Liverpool have got such a fan base that they will subscribe to the early kickoff one, rather than any other time. And so Liverpool are the favourites for Sky because they're going to get so many hits on the on the forum
season in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think it should be a bit of an easy game for Liverpool. You know,
on paper.
Ipswich are a decent championship side, a good championship side. I don't hold much hope for them, although they may be the best of the three, actually, saying that, but who come up. But it's still Ipswich, you know, and when you look at the squads, Liverpool have got a far superior, you know, amount of skill compared to what Ipswich have got. The run-of-the-mill side, Ipswich, they done good last year coming up. Well done to them, you know. Oh, my hats off to them. But they're going to find it very difficult in the Premiership this year. And I'm expecting Liverpool to win around about 4-0. Would be the bet I'd be having, like, it's 4-0 to Liverpool. I think they'd just be too strong for them for me, Chris.
Whereas I think Ipswich could well be a bit of a Brentford for the season, you know, like when they first came up in their first season, when they shocked teams with the way they performed. I mean, it all comes down to it's a really difficult one to call because they're a team and they're going to play like a team, so they've got a chance. But
they will play like a team, Chris, but
they do lack the quality. You're right. So
when you've got the likes of Mo Salah, and I don't know whether Nunes will play, but whoever they play, Joseph, Gakpo, they're surely got to be too strong for Ipswich. They are, you know, you're talking a gulf in class.
I know
is massive.
What I'd say is because it's the first game of the season, that's where your problem comes in because it's still. You know what I mean? The first few games, there's always a few results that you think, oh my god, you didn't expect that. You know what I mean? The first 3-4 games of the season, not first like of each team. It tends to take 3 or 4 games to get into get into a routine and a rhythm of playing together. So
I can see what you're saying, but I can't get past the golfing quality. I can't. I think Liverpool are odds on to win, obviously, but I just can't see them stepping up enough. There's 3 major teams in the Premiership, which is City, Arsenal, and Liverpool, and then there's a gap then, and it goes for the also rans, which is your Spurs, your Villa, and that Manchester United possibly in that, but. Because the gulf there, them 3 teams should be beating the lower teams 9 times out of 10. And I can't see nothing but a Liverpool a decent win myself, personally.
I think what helps is Slot being up for it, but you just never know. But yeah, I know overall you've got to expect Liverpool to win that, and it would be extremely disappointing if they didn't. Arsenal Wolves. Wolves are missing a lot of players as well, so they've got actually out. I mean, there's a couple that might make it, but there's quite a few. There's like 5 that are out for definite. No, I mean, Matthias Cunha, Nelson Semedo, and a couple of others. Like some of them I don't even know who they are, but. Yeah, and they might be missing their new striker Larson as well. So, whereas Arsenal are only missing Tomiyasu, Timber, and Tierney, who are already been replaced by Calafiori anyway, because he's playing the position they would have all played. So, if any of them had been fit, so that's not really an issue for them.
No, I think I'd be looking at an Arsenal win myself. I don't think it's going to be a massive win because I think Wolves could be a very difficult side to beat. They're quite easy on the eye, Wolves last year. But Arsenal should have enough to win that. I'd expect them to win 1, maybe 2-0, 2-1, around that. I think there'll be a goal in it. But I would still expect Arsenal to, even though they haven't got a proven goal scorer, which is going to cost them in the up-and-coming league if they don't produce one. I don't think they've got the greatest goal scorers there. The likes of Jesus and the other lad up front. They're not really prolific scorers.
And Ketia, which one?
Kai Havertz.
Do you know
Yeah,
what? I've got to say, I'm wondering whether they've done an, forget it. We'll talk about that later. We shouldn't talk. I won't get carried away on it. Yeah, I can't see them, running away with anything. I don't think they're at the position yet where they can, where they can win comfortably because they just lack the goal scoring threat to do it.
yeah.
I mean that lad on the left, Martinelli's fucking abysmal. How he's still in there? I don't understand how people still. Yeah, he's quick, but he's shit. You know what I mean? He makes Adama Traore look like he's got a full of end product. I just don't.
He only played out of the game, and this is the reason for that. He either comes on and does all right, or they play him from the start and take him off at half time because I don't think he's got a full game in him. I think he gets worked out too easily by defenders, and his crossing's not that great, and he doesn't score that many goals.
He can't cross, he can't pass, he can't tackle, he's got no work rate, his shooting's wayward, it's just his technique's, he's got skill, but he doesn't seem to have any intelligence to go with it, so he ends up just putting himself into blind alleys and stuff. No, I'm not a fan of his at all. Not in the slightest.
He can be headless chicken at times, I must admit. He has little spells where, but not enough of them, He had little spells where he does some good stuff. He's quite tricky on the ball, but he doesn't put a full shift in. That's the problem for me with him. But I still fancy Arsenal to get the job done. But I think it'll only be one goal in it. And that would be my forecast on that game.
Okay, so we'll move on to who are these? Everton. About to get another point deduction. But I'm not even talking about the admin now, because isn't the talk that you've misled the FA over your losses?
Yeah, there is something in the news the last couple of days over it. I don't know what they're doing there. I don't think they do.
I'm sorry, it is beyond the joke now, and still Man City and Chelsea are carrying on regardless, even though Chelsea have even admitted they've found, the new owners have found the whole store of all this, in the accounts, all these side payments, hidden payments. That's how they. This is what annoys me when Ed 2 goes on about, you want all the Chelsea Academy players. Yes, but only because you were stealing them off other clubs by paying them underhand payments. That's why you had quality Academy players, because you cheated, you cheating bastards. It's not because you're any fucking good, it's because you cheated. Of course everybody wants them because they're good, because you were buying the best by sneaking them hidden payments. So... But
the game's like straight. Go on, man.
But Everton, how the fucking hell can they? How much worse can it get for them? They could go into administration. That's 9 gone.
That's 9 gone, yeah. If that happens.
And then this could, you could have misled the FA over your previous losses. That could be fucking anything. That could.
But I'm hearing there's good news on the new ownership front. But they have to get it done before September. But I believe the news is very positive, what I've been reading. So hopefully Texter's come back in, and he wants to form a partnership with Friedkin, apparently. They're both looking at it, and they're both, but there's also another American owner who's looking to invest. But hopefully that gets sorted out and we won't get the 9 points, and we might just get 3 or 4. This is what I'm hoping for, I must admit. But the game on Saturday, I think it's going to be a really difficult game for them. Brought a few new players in, and they're not of very high quality. I like the way they've gone about it. They brought young, up and coming lads in, but they are a bit unshied, But I like the progression of the club to actually do that and not go and spend another 50 million on a player who wants £150,000 a week. So I'm happy about that score with what Thelwell's done. And I'm looking forward to seeing us this year. I want to see what Dyche is going to offer, to be honest with you, because this is his first transfer window where he's been able to liaise with Thelwell and get players in that he's going to have he had an input on. So hopefully, the lads will do well. That's him, a Regabum, whatever, I can't even pronounce his second name. But he looks a decent player. It's whether he has enough faith to play these players,
Mm.
And
Jared
Bramley is out.
And so on in the team. That's what you worry about, isn't it?
That's what I do worry about, yeah. That, he's tried and tested. And the fullback situation isn't great. Coleman's out. So it looks like, and he's getting on a bit anyway, so it looks like actually Young's going to be our fullback unless we get someone later on, which isn't a good idea really, because we all know he's been a very good professional, but he's well past his best, and he gets skinned far too easily, at this time in his career. So I'm a bit worried about the fullback situation, and I don't know what's happening with
You've got Ashley Young now. I mean, surely you can just put him in if you need a bit of youth.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. He's only about 84. But, yeah. But there's still question marks over Calvert-Lewin. I don't think he's the greatest, but he's the best we have at the moment, because Beto's been very poor, to be honest with you. So, he's injured, he's out injured, Chimiti. I'd give him a go. I think he's got looks to have more about him than what the other two do, to be perfectly honest. So I'd like to have seen him have a run. We've got a guy coming in who can play centre forward, but I'd prefer him to be just behind, play the false nine, instead of what the core do, because the core is gone, unfortunately. He's been a good signing for Everton because he basically kept us up, and but his legs have gone. Yeah, his legs are gone.
No, I was just looking at your players out injured. You've got Nathan Patterson out injured. Well, that's hardly a surprise. He's never been fit, has he?
No.
James Garner's out. Looks like, well, he's being assessed, but he looks like he's ruled out for the game, right? Seamus Coleman looks to be out as well. Jared Brown
is out, yeah.
There's a very small chance of him playing. Like,
I don't think there's any chance
of him playing. Michael Keane looks to be out as well, but he's being assessed.
That's one plus.
Yeah, so that's good news for you. Chimiti and Dele Alli. Okay, now.
Oh yeah, Dele had some news really, not being able to play, isn't it?
No, I'd forgotten he even still there, to be honest.
To be fair, I know we're previewing the games. I think Everton could get a bit of an iron on Saturday. I think I've seen a little bit of Brighton in two friendlies, and he looked very good.
With the new manager,
I don't know much about it.
Deserby. He's supposed to be good here, isn't it?
Yeah, and they looked to be a side. They looked to play good stuff, and I've got a feeling that I don't like to say this, but I think Everton might get a bit of a hiding on Saturday. Hope not, but.
See that they look to have progressed and they're spending money now.
Yeah.
So it could either collapse totally on them, but I think now they've got rid of De Zerbi, I think they've got a chance of stepping up a level. And
I do.
Pushing for Europe on a regular basis, you know what I mean? Becoming an established.
Yeah.
Challenging for Europe, I mean, not actually necessarily in it because top 8 or whatever. Sort of see. Definitely top half. You can't see them finishing outside top half. That Hazel is very highly rated. No, not Hazel, is it? That's Crystal. Is that Crystal Palace? Oh fuck! I've forgotten now. I've forgotten who it is now. Is that Palace or is that Brighton? I'm getting them mixed up now.
No, I think it is Brighton, but
yeah, it is Hazel. Sorry, I have got it right. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
For a second then, I actually thought, shit, no, was that Crystal Palace? Am I getting mixed up? I can't
Yeah,
remember
but
who the
you
last
know
one is. Oh,
they were
Glasnow's
really good
Buzzers.
to they were really good to watch under Potter, and that the Serbi come in, uh, and I think he took them backwards,
Oh yeah.
and they weren't as good to watch, and they never had as much about them as what they did under Potter. Uh, and I think the Serbi had to go, and I think it's going to be a plus for Brighton if he can get them going, because I think they've got some wonderful players. And as you say, I think they're going to be challenging for the lower European things. To be honest with you, it's places.
Yeah, it's not an easy game to start with. It's got to be said.
No, no.
Oh. Yeah, you could have done. You could have got a lot easier. Maybe Man United or someone else. The weaker sides.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, you got them. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Should we move on to the next one? Newcastle versus Southampton.
Yeah, that's got to be a win for Newcastle, hasn't it? I don't think they've done much in the transfer window, really, Newcastle.
Yeah, Tonali will be coming
Well,
back soon, though.
yeah, yeah.
20 something. He's not back yet, but I mean he'll be back soon. So that's a big
Big plus for them, yeah.
And
Southampton don't look to have much, do they? They're not they weren't the greatest sides in the Championship, to be honest with you. So
No.
how they're going to do in the Premiership is something that I'm really not looking forward to.
Have they brought in a new keeper? Because the one thing Southampton really, I can't remember seeing them buying a keeper. Because the one thing they really lack is, and have done for years, is a half decent keeper. Even that Bazunu, I think they got him from City, if I remember rightly. He's absolute dogmuck. He was the worst keeper in the Championship last season. Even statistically, he was terrible. You know what I mean? His statistics were awful as well. It's not like it's just the eye test. He looks bad. He was bad. You know what I mean? There was nobody's going to be able to argue he was good. So yeah, he's and yet he's the Ireland international as well, isn't he? That kept Keller out the team for a while. And I have no idea how. He's this absolute dogmuck. I mean, you'd be better putting you in goal than him.
And he's a good keeper, once, huh?
You could be absolute shite. You still could be better than Bazunu. Trust me. If you've got 2 feet and 2 hands, you'll be better than Bazunu. That's it. That's all you need. You could be 5'2" and you'll be better than Bazunu.
I think Newcastle are going to win that one comfortably, I'd say. They're going to be trying, but again, there's going to be a gulf in quality. The home advantage, St James's Park's going to be up for it. And I can't see Southampton getting any sort of positive result there. I'm saying a 2-0 win for Newcastle.
Yeah, I don't know, because they've still got Eddie Howe and they seem to be struggling now. They seem to be, I don't know, they've gone backwards a long way since, after his first season.
Yeah, they have gone backwards a bit. I don't know whether there's they're just not buying players. I don't know whether they're trusting Eddie Howe with the purse strings, to bring, his choices in, because I think he could be going. But, they do need a couple of players, and especially if Gordon goes. So we'll have to look out on that one. But I still think they've got enough.
From what I understand, they've got PSR difficulties. I mean, you've got to remember they've paid well to get the players they've got in because they had a bit spare. But obviously, those big players like Isaac aren't going to come on small wages, so they've put themselves in a bit of trouble there.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Very difficult for them. But I can see them. I can see them beating Southampton because Southampton are terrible. I don't know how Russell Martin managed to get them up. I have no idea because they are truly abysmal. Even when you watch them, you just think this is shit, and they still managed to get up. It was a really bizarre season last season in the Championship. It really was.
Yeah.
Next one then, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth. I have no idea. I literally have no idea who could win that.
No, I'd say Bournemouth was going to pick anyone, but it looks like a draw to me, I must admit.
I don't. I'm nearly got into a. Nottingham Forest haven't got anybody out injured, but I mean Bournemouth. I mean, they've suddenly started buying players. You notice now Richard Hughes is gone. They're able to sign lots of players. Amazing that, isn't it? Really, they struggled to sign players when he was there, and now he's gone. And he's at Liverpool. He hasn't signed a fucking player, though the women's team have managed to, and Bournemouth are now signing hundreds. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's but what was I've forgotten what I was going to say. Yeah, I was going to say is they do look like they've got a much improved side. And they've got the manager, settled manager, and that. But Forest have been much better recruitment this summer. Yeah, but I think Nuno's going to hold them back, whereas I think Bournemouth actually got a decent manager in Areola. So I'm
Yeah, yeah,
put my money on Bournemouth out of the two of them, even though it's
yeah,
probably
that's what I said, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, another close one, but if I was going to pick, I'd settle for the draw myself, but I think if anyone's going to win it, I think it'd be Bournemouth.
Yeah, I'm deliberately not going on draws. I'm just saying I'm never gonna pick a draw on purpose because like it just seems a bit sitting on the fence. Even if you do think it's gonna be a draw, just like
Yeah, yeah.
um
It's just a poor home side against a half decent away side. That says draw to me. But you know, it's not everyone's cup of tea to draw. But I'd go for a draw.
they're very defensive minded under Nuno as well, Forest. So, but when you're playing
Yeah,
at
they are.
home, yeah, that's not normally liked by the crowd, is it? So I can see them having a few
No, it's not. No.
the crowd roaring and wanting them to charge forward, and them getting caught out because of it. I can see because he just doesn't know
Yeah.
how to coach teams to attack. So
No, I think it's very boring. I think the Forest fans realise that as well. They were always going to put Cooper back as soon as Nuno got appointed, and they showed what he was going to offer, which isn't a lot, to be honest with you.
pretty much the
I know he
same as
hasn't got
Cooper.
the greatest set of players, but I think he's a bad. What's that? Chris? Well,
Pretty much the same style as Cooper. That's the thing. It's like I didn't see the point.
I think it's worse. I think he had a bit of a attacking intent. I don't think Nuno's got any attacking intent. I think they're very boring. They were very boring to watch. I know they were in a difficult situation, but I thought they were awful to watch first.
Yeah, they weren't good. Yeah, and should we move on to the next one? West Ham Villa.
Yeah, go on. What's that? That's another close one, isn't it?
That's
West
a
Ham.
hard one to call.
They done some recruiting, a couple of older players as well. But, you know, they're not a bad side. Not a bad side at all. And Villa, they're a side, they're a funny side, Villa. They can be really good and they can be poor on occasions. And although they've got a great goal scorer, uh, they do lack in certain areas. And I wouldn't be putting my money on Villa, that's for certain. I think if anyone's going to win, it's going to be West Ham. But again, I'm a fence-sitting draw specialist myself for that one.
The thing is with Villa is they've pretty much sold their entire midfield. Changed it. So I think with the fact that their defence was struggling at the end of the season and that, and it's apparently not been playing well in pre-season, I can see them having a bit of a blip early on before they get going.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say West Ham might just surprise them, but fucking hell, I want to go for a draw as well. But like, yeah, I said I wasn't gonna pick draws, so Villa at home, no. So you got to go with the home side if you're not sure, aren't you?
Yeah.
Because they should have the advantage. So Villa, but it's going to be very fucking tight, that game.
It is, yeah.
So yeah, next one on the Sunday now is Brentford versus Palace. I think that should be a stroll in the park for Palace, to be honest. I don't think Brentford are a very good side anymore. I think they've
Right,
fallen
I'm with
very
you.
massively.
Yeah, I'm with you. And, you know, they're not the greatest side to watch, are they? I wouldn't think I'd be watching that game, to be honest with you. Because Palace are okay to watch. You know, they sold a couple of players, though, so they mightn't be as attractive to watch as what they were at times last year. But Brentford to watch, you know, I'd turn it off for the simple reason they're just a bunch of thugs. They don't. They haven't got. They don't even try to play football aside. They're always rolling around, time wasting. And do you know what? I can't be bothered. But everyone's loading up Thomas Frank last year, the year before. You know what a good manager he is. Sean Biggs going to come in for him. I don't think he's a great manager at all.
No.
Because of the way he's got them playing.
Yeah,
they're not good to watch at all.
Yeah,
they are. You might just.
I'll say they're just spoilers. I'm with you on that. I do not like the way he basically sets them out to just spoil the other team's play rather than to actually go and win matches. So I hate watching them as well. I wouldn't want. So.
But they were good when they first come up, weren't they? They were good when they first come up. You know, they had a different attitude and they were exciting and they were taking points off some of the big guys as well. And, you know, you look like, you know, this is a prize package. But now they've gone into this drone of a style of playing where it's all about muscle, it's all about spoiling, and it's all about diving and cheating. And I can't be doing with Brentford.
Time wasting as well. They love time wasting.
Oh, and I've gone off the other fella, Ivan Toney, as well, with what's been happening. I thought the guy was a stand-up guy, you know, and I was once outing for him to the Arsenal lads that, you know, he should have gone to Arsenal. I don't think he should have gone to Arsenal now. No, I think that'd have been a bad deal. I think he's got an attitude problem, to be honest with you.
The way he's acted when he went out, because he, you know, it's like he thinks he's some kind of superhero now. It's like they've turned him into a hero for fucking cheating, basically breaking the rules. I mean, you know, costing them a lot. I don't get why they so desperately love him. He let them.
No, I don't.
He let them down badly, and they shouldn't be happy with him at all. But no. Yeah, no, I can't see them doing much this season at all, let alone against Palace and the Glasner, a really good side. So I'm looking forward to that.
Palace. I think Palace will do all right this year.
Next one's an interesting one, though I can only see one result in it. It's Chelsea-Man City. I mean, the most interesting thing about it will be who the freaking hell are Chelsea going to pick from their 475 professionals they've got to choose from. I mean, they've got 45 keepers to pick, haven't they?
Will it be Bills the Cheats Cup final? Get that fixture on Sunday. Because it is, isn't it? It's two of the most corrupt teams ever in the Premier League. And they're going to be facing each other. And it's who's going to pay the officials more, I suppose, could be the outcome. But all joking apart, City should have too much for Chelsea.
Oh, yeah.
They always they change that much that they never have a settled side. Got a few good players. Cole's a really good player. They've got a few. Why they got rid of the other fella? I don't know. The midfielder who's gone to Spain, gone to Bilbao. What's his name?
He hasn't gone.
Yeah, Gallagher. Oh, hasn't he gone yet?
He hasn't gone. He's returned, hasn't he? Came back. The deal fell through. They'd
All
accept.
right, so
They've been
I
trying to
thought they'd
push him.
dumped
No,
him.
they've been trying to push him out or something. He wants to play for Chelsea. This is the thing. I mean, I know Ed too thinks they made a fair offer, but they basically told him they didn't fucking want him. They tried to push him off, punch him off to Villa. He didn't want to go. They've offered him a new contract with sort of, which is 2 years. 2 more years, so it'd be 3 years rather than when all the teammates are on 7 and 8 years and now 9 years in Cole
Yeah.
Palmer's case contracts. And they're offering him less money than most, the big money signings, even though he was mostly having to play captain. And you got Reece James being paid more than him, who's again fucking injured because he can't play. He's ridiculous how he's got a huge salary for what he's performing. He's never done anything to deserve the hype he gets. Yeah, and
No.
Gallagher's being shafted left, right, centre. I mean, him and the other guy. Um,
Yeah, centre half.
yeah, Chalobah. They've shafted him
Yeah.
as well, forced him to train with the kids. I mean, this is a disgraceful way to treat players that actually want to play for the club.
It is a solid state of affairs at Chelsea. No one, to put them on these 6, 7, 8, 9 year contracts. I don't know how they can sustain what they're doing. If they don't work out, how are they getting rid of a player on a 7, 8 year contract on top money?
Because they won't, because they'll sell kids. No matter how well they perform, they'll sell the next Gallagher who comes in and plays really well. They'll sell him instead. It's a nonsense. It's just a badly run club. It's a joke they've turned themselves into a complete laughing stock. And they'll make they might have a bit of money in the bank, but what good is it going to be when they don't even own their training ground and their hotel. Their hotel's owned by a different company and the ground's going to be owned by a different company. So basically, they don't own anything. They've got nothing. They're just they're in a real mess. And if the ownership decides they've had enough, then they're fucked. Properly fucked. I mean, they're done. If the owners decide to pull out, they're gone. I mean, they wouldn't. It wouldn't even be administration. It'd be gone. They'd be completely folded because there's no way. And there's nobody who could rescue them for the amount of money they owe. It's billions you're talking about. They're going to be wasted. They're going to be in bigger, dire straits than Barcelona the way they're going. They're spending billions for nothing. See, this is the thing, is like City, for all I dislike them and the way they've cheated and all that, you've got to say the thing they got right is at the start they invested all the money almost entirely in a huge proportion into the infrastructure of the club, and they made it owned by the club itself. So they didn't sell off it. So they've increased the income. You know what I mean? Unlike where, like Chelsea can't even get a fucking shirt sponsor because there's such a joke, nobody wants to be associated with them. They made sure that they had a sponsor, even though it's themselves, but they made certain that they were being sponsored as much as they possibly could, what they could get away with. You know what I mean? They've made sure that they were bringing in money, but it was all going into the club. Everything they've done, they've been piling the money into the club. Whereas what Chelsea have done, it hasn't been the same at all. Nothing they've done is actually improving the actual the state of the club at all. They've spent all their money in the most inefficient way, because players' transfers is the most inefficient way to spend money on clubs. Because obviously, 90% of transfers don't work out as a rule. So, or you don't make money on most transfers, because people forget. I mean, it's not just all these loans people think they're making money on, but all these players they're buying in and then loaning out. But most of the time, these players they're having to play part of their wages while on loan. It's very rare that they actually get a loan fee and the other club paying their wages. Most of the time, they're having to pay part of their wages. They're having to pay a club, liaison officers who will have travel expenses, hotel expenses. They're having to pay all this kind of thing. A loan loan people, and they'll have to have 3 or 4 of these at least who are on like a few. They're going to be costing them a couple of grand a week each. So there's all these extra costs. There's all the agent fees they're racking up. There's all the all sorts of other bits and pieces. And during the close season, they're having to pay them full wages, and they're not getting any benefit from them. So by the time you're probably talking, they're probably costing them 15, 20 million each anyway. By the time you actually and then they'll sell them for a 10 million profit, and they'll say, "Oh, we made a profit." No, because you cost you 15, 20 million to actually have them at the club in the So they're losing 5, 10 million each one, not gaining. They're just not factoring in all these other things. That's the thing.
I just don't see how you can make money or sustain in a football club, obviously you go. It's so haphazard. It's just like a tombola, they're buying players, selling them, buying young players, selling them, and then they're going out on loan. Then they're transferring them on getting players on big long deals, and it just doesn't seem right to me. It's not the way to run a football club.
It makes no sense anyway. You give a player a massive long deal and he's comfortable and he doesn't have to work as hard. It meant, in his head, it's a comfort thing. You don't want your players being comfortable and things. That's why you give them, that's why you want players pushing them for their position in the first place. So
yeah,
it's just yeah.
Come on, City.
I think City will strong.
Come on.
No, to be actually, Maresca I'm not convinced he's a good choice at all.
No, you said that, yeah.
Don't get it. I don't understand the choice of him at all. I've watched his his Leicester team last season, and every time I just thought, oh my God, these are shambles. And they're winning in spite of him, not because of him. And I think that's what Chelsea are going to have to hope for, is that they can win a few games in spite of him, rather than because they're not going to win them because of him.
No.
Anyway, should we move on to the final game of the weekend, which is the Monday night match, which is Leicester versus Spurs.
Yeah, and expect Spurs to comfortably win that. And Dominic Solanke, they get a brace. So I'm going to plug for a little 3-0 win to Spurs, who will go gung-ho, as they always do, and not be thinking much about defence. And they go all out attack. And Son will get one, and Dominic Solanke will get a brace on his debut, because I think they've got too much for Leicester.
Oh, they should absolutely destroy Leicester. Should do.
I think so.
I think Leicester are the worst team in the Premier League this season. They're going to be the worst. I think they're going to finish bottom. Yeah, because Steve Cooper's the manager and the fans do not want him there. He's Forest. Forest is there. Forest and Leicester. Like, obviously, Derby's the big one with Forest, but Leicester hate Forest. And Cooper's still a Forest man for them. They don't want him there. And I just don't think he's the right choice either. I mean, he's boring football. They don't have the players to play defensive football. Yeah, and I think Postecoglou will do, has brought in. I know I'm not the biggest fan of Solanke, as I said, but I think he will score a hatful because of the chances. They'll make loads of chances. And
I think so.
Postecoglou's just, I really like Postecoglou, and I think he'll have them.
I like his style. He's a bit gung-ho, but I do like his style.
I like
and he's got a good personality as well. He's one of them managers that you want to listen to his press conferences and his pre-match talks. And I hope he does well for them. You know what I mean? Because it's a massive job. But you've got some lovely players. Kulusevski's a great player, and some, they're going to be giving ammunition to Solanke and the midfielder. Can't think of his name. Yeah, they did all right. Did all right, Tottenham. Don't make it very good defensively, but you know, I think they've got enough up front to, to give Leicester a bit of a hide on
Yeah.
Monday.
Seamus, do you want to come in now? Because I know you're there. I've just seen you online waiting. So do you want to come in now, and we'll go on to the actual, move on to the other stuff now, the actual news stuff.
Good evening, peeps.
No, I'll just say this: 21 is coming.
What?
Go on, mate.
21 is coming.
Who's coming?
We're gonna win. Manchester United is gonna win the 21st league title. 21 is
Oh,
coming.
you think so? Oh, well done.
No, as
I feel like you're up to it.
Come on, Billy. I only had like 24 hours to be this deluded. It's all gonna, it's all gonna go away after 24 hours. We make the most of it.
When the first couple of games are played, you'll have long gone, yeah?
Yeah. After a couple of, we will probably be like.
What are you expecting? James, what are you expecting from Manchester United this year? Or your honest expectation of how they'll do in the coming season?
I think we're gonna get Champions League football. We should. I said it last week as well. That should be the target for the club, the players, the managers, everyone. And if you can't meet it, then you can't stay here too long.
Oh, that's a big shout.
No, but genuinely, if some of our players play to their reputations, their previous exploits, then I don't see 4 better teams in the league.
You don't?
No, I don't.
I see 7.
No. Like if everyone, I'm not saying everyone is gonna play well, but I'm saying if Rashford plays the way he played before he got the contract, if Bruno becomes the goal and assist every game again, if there are a lot of ifs, but if that doesn't happen, then no. Yeah, but then you have to make the changes. It's a big season for everyone, if I'm being honest. Everyone at the club.
Yeah, I can see that.
No. Be honest, Billy. If United don't get Champions League football, is there any way to justify Ten Hag being in the job?
Probably not. I don't know how much it's going to decide.
No, it just I don't know. He was very close to getting the job this summer as well.
Yeah.
So progress into eye test isn't gonna be enough. You need results.
Okay.
It doesn't matter how he gets the Champions League football, whether it's by winning the Europa League or finishing 4th or wherever it is. But
you think he's got it?
I think he has got to do that. So that would be my realistic target set for those guys. The objectives for them. If I was.
But when I look at United, Seamus, and I see players like Casemiro and Anthony, I don't see that type of player. Lindelof, if he's fit, I don't see how them players improve aside enough to get into Champions League places. I think you're carrying far too many players.
No, only from the 3 players you named, the only one that will get good minutes is Casemiro if he doesn't get moved on. Lindelof
will get moved on.
No, we may not be able to move him on, but Lindelof is probably not going to play any real minutes unless something unless something calamitous happens to our backline again. Because I would think on paper, if everyone is fit, he would be 6th choice at centre back, and Anthony has been replaced by. He was replaced by Garnacho anyways. There's Ahmad ahead of him as well, so he ain't playing.
Right, okay. But you've got to get them players out your club for me. See, they're just a burden on the club. The wages they're on, the fee that they paid for him, nearly 100 million for Anthony, and players like Rashford was terrible last year. Whatever went on, I'm not sure, but he was terrible last year. Casemiro was terrible. There's a few players that Shaw is just a waste of space. He's injured too much.
I sent this little thing to Trace as well. Bobby Charlton, was it that?
Well, Hendricks era.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hendricks era, Bobby Charlton. Yeah.
No, Bobby Charlton was in a fucking plane crash and won the Ballon d'Or 7 years later. People still talk about the. No, it's a very harsh comment to say, but it's also the truth. Like, if you cannot play get back to full fitness after 8 years, then it's sadly a business.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
Shaw's just not. He's just not willing to try and work hard enough to get fit.
It just doesn't matter. Like, our opinions on him as a player when he's playing doesn't matter if he doesn't play enough.
Yeah, that's right.
No, you could be the best player, but if you're only available for 25, 30, 50% of the time, then you're of no use.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I wouldn't. He's got to be one of the first. He's like Reece James. Got to be the first out the door. When you get rid of players, no matter how good he is when he's fit, it's pointless because you'll never find out.
And also, in a way, it just proves to the players that are already there and the ones that sign in that if you can't keep yourself professional enough, then you won't be tolerated.
Yeah.
That is how you should set standards, but that would be asking too much from Manchester United. So, anyways, we're gonna win the league, yeah. How are the lads?
Go on, who's going to win the league? Seamus, who's going to win the league this year?
Yeah, Manchester United. Glory, glory, Man United.
Yeah. Oh, right, okay.
Who do you think, Bill?
No, Billy, ask this question
in
3 weeks' time. In 3 weeks' time.
I'm going to say Arsenal. Arsenal are going to win the league this year, yeah. For the simple reason, I think City are coming to an end as a supreme force. They'll still be a force. They'll finish 1, 2, 3, but I've just got a feeling that a lot of their players are coming to the end of their careers. The likes of De Bruyne, I think this is the last season for De Bruyne. To play at Man City. I think Bernardo, he said he wants to get off anyway. And I think there's a few players like that who, within a City setup, that, they've all done well. Kyle Walker, players like that, they've done well, they've won everything. And I think it comes round titles and that. And I think that this is their swan song, and I don't think they're as strong as what they have been over the last few years. And I think Arsenal might just have enough. And I don't think Liverpool are going to be far behind Chelsea, but I think I'm going to go for Arsenal this year for the league.
Now you think Arteta is going to hire back his pickpocketers to steal tactics from Guardiola?
Yeah.
Did you see that story about the pickpockets? I'm totally with Roy Keane.
Yeah.
What a fucking ludicrous thing. That's just a really bad prank, not a lesson. That's just a bad prank, let's be honest. Arteta's fucking mental. He's just not right.
Who do you think's going to win the league, Chris?
Sadly, I think City will. I think they're coming to an end, though. I do think they're coming to an end, so they're vulnerable. But
I think this is just gonna be the perfect thing for Guardiola because if Klopp was still around, I'd back Liverpool more. But like with Arsenal, I just can't believe them
I just
getting
don't
over
think
the
they've
line.
done
No,
enough to
I
turn
think they're
themselves
gonna
into league
compete.
winners. They've
No, they're
basically
gonna compete, but no, you
they
have to be like very very perfect to topple City.
and all they've signed is a player that's that strengthens a position of strength rather than like signing where their weaknesses were. They haven't
California,
actually
yeah.
improved. They haven't really improved what they need. In the areas of the pitch where they needed it, they've just signed another defender. Which they didn't really need. I mean, don't get me wrong. It might turn out to be brilliant for them and really change things. I might be completely wrong, but I just think they've got other areas of the pitch where they needed to buy players for that would have made a bigger difference.
Right,
And also,
okay.
like they've signed uh, players of similar skill set. They've not added variety. If they brought in someone who is a different kind of a left back, then I'd have said
Yeah.
yes. But no, they've Timber who hardly played last season. He's also there. They've
Injured.
brought in Calafiori. But they brought in Calafiori. If they brought in Calafiori to be a backup to Timber because he's gonna be injured, then that's money wasted anyways.
Yeah, I was saying to Trish before, I think they're desperate for a striker. That's going to be the thing that'll hold them back. I think they should have went all out and got a decent striker, a really good striker.
They
Who,
can
I'm
still
not
try.
sure.
They can still try for Austin, man.
Right, okay.
No, if they
So,
really want to, no, if they really want to make the push, then that's how you try and get there because he is probably the only realistic big ticket striker on the market.
Mm.
mm,
Yeah, but I can't
but they
see
do
them.
need someone.
Definitely. I'm fully with you on that.
And also in midfield, like they've Rice and Odegaard, but who's the third guy?
It'll probably be Havertz, I would think.
Now that Havertz leaves the midfield to attack minded and imbalanced.
Mm.
And if you bring in Jorginho or Partey, it makes the midfield comparatively weaker to, let's say, City because they're the team to beat.
Mm.
Yeah, but I think Partey's quite good. I'd like Partey myself
No,
alongside
no,
Rice.
but from what I've seen, a very little last season, Jorginho and Partey, they seem like they're coming to the end of their careers.
They do, I've got to say.
Mm.
But Jorginho's shit anyway, so.
Yeah.
No, Jorginho, yes, obviously, but even Partey, it doesn't seem to be the same way it
Yeah, they
was
need to
2 3
replace him.
years ago. They need
I don't think
another in midfield, I
I,
think, to make a
I
real
don't think Thomas Partey's had a fair crack at the whip at Arsenal, to be honest with you. I think he's better than what he played there. I think he's a bit fed up. I think he wants to go because he's fed up. I think he should have been in that side, and I think he thinks the same. I don't think he's had a fair crack at the whip, to be honest with you. I like Thomas Partey.
And also, Arsenal have the pressure as well.
Yeah.
Now more people expect them to win.
Like Billy.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
No,
Me, yeah.
not just Billy. Now this is I've started to realize more and more people say like now Arteta just cannot rely on good reputation and word of mouth. He needs to show it in
Yeah,
terms
he
of
needs to actually
trophies.
win something now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's about time. He can't keep spending huge amounts of money and come second. It's just not the amount of money they're
No,
spending.
no.
It's not good enough. He has to.
That's why I think he will win it, because this is the last chance saloon for Mikel Arteta. I think if he doesn't win it this year, he's not going to win it, and I think they'll change tack. And so it's a massive season for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal this year, and that's why I'm thinking it's win or bust, and I think they'll win the league. Only a big opinion, of course. It's just my opinion.
No, but even in my opinion, Billy, if Arsenal don't finish top two, let's say, I'm not just. If Arsenal don't finish top two and end the season without a trophy, then there is like I wouldn't keep Arteta. Arteta has to win a trophy and come top two in the league. If he wins the league, then fine. If not, then he has to win a trophy and finish top two at a bare minimum. In my eyes,
I'd say that. Happy with you on that. To be honest with you.
Otherwise, he's been back to the hill. Like, come on. He
Spends a lot of money.
And time.
Spends a lot of money on players that you expect to get into the starting 11 as well. It's not like with Chelsea spending stupid amounts on random teenagers.
Yeah, on 35 goalkeepers.
Yeah, Arteta has gotten hands-on players to establish themselves elsewhere and then been brought in.
Well, he's literally been allowed to cherry pick his players.
Yeah, he has, yeah.
So he's got no excuse now. Not the amount of time
he's had. That's what I'm saying. This is massive for him because gets his last chance to win, as far as I'm concerned, with Arteta and Arsenal. I think that his brief will be win that league, or you're out the door, or a major trophy, or you're out the door, because they've laid out a lot of money and bought some really good players, and then it's down to the coach. And if he can't do it, he's had 3 seasons now where he's done okay, but not good enough, no cigar. And I think this is his last chance to do it for Mikel Arteta.
I have a sick feeling that City are gonna win. Arsenal are gonna get a change of manager and then win next season.
I might just be hoping rather than thinking.
No. When there is no club, there is no Guardiola, and Liverpool and Man City are still in kind of like transition.
Yeah, but Liverpool's recruitment's been so good. I think they might, I mean, with Hughes in there doing the recruitment, I think it's only a matter of time before we dominate completely.
Have you had your rant waiting for me?
No, I was waiting for you.
Jimmy, where are you?
Oh,
the fuck
Jesus.
Spin it however you want to spin it. He rejected you too.
Yeah, but the thing is, Hughes' record's shit. His time at Bournemouth, what's he achieved there? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. He's got the job because he's a mate of Edwards. That's it. Edwards is only in the job because he's a mate of John Henry's from when he was there previously. That's why he's being brought back, not because he was any fucking good, because he was an absolute disaster last time. I know everyone says, oh no, he did really well, Liverpool won everything. Yeah, they won everything because of Klopp, not because of Edwards. Edwards had fuck all to do with it. What he did was leave us in the contract held it, saw us having to be desperately, hoping for the Saudis to come in and rescue us from it. And now we're fucking stuck in another contract hell because we got 3 of our best players that haven't got contracts after this season.
Yeah.
And why isn't that being sorted?
Big massive players, yeah. That should have been some of the first thing sorted.
They've had months, and we know full well because Virgil's come out openly and said, "I haven't even been offered a contract." So it's not like they've just said, "Look, with that, you're getting on a bit. Can we do a rolling contract 1 year? Yeah, we'll just keep and we'll just because you're still good enough at the moment, but obviously we don't know how long that's going to be for because you're in your 30s now. So can we do?" And then if he turns around and says no, that's fair enough. But at least you've got to ask the question, haven't you? They haven't even fucking asked him. And they put nothing to, from what I can gather, they haven't put anything to Mo Salah. And Trent Alexander-Arnold would have signed anything they've given, if they'd have given him anything. From what I can find out, he was desperate to sign. But now I'm thinking he's got to be thinking, these lot haven't got a fucking clue what they're doing. And,
do they want me? Do they really want me?
Well, not just do they want me, but is there any point signing, or if I want to win trophies, do I just stay here? Because if these are this shambolic, they can't even figure out freaking contracts at this point, and they can't sign anyone. What is the fucking point of staying here when it's just going to go? Is it just going to go downhill? Slot's come in, and there's clearly an excellent coach by the looks of it. He's looked. The team's looked really good, really well drilled, playing some really good stuff, but. It's like they're trying to rip the rug out from under him. Hughes, Edwards and Ward shouldn't be anywhere near the club. It's as simple as that.
If you're Trent Alexander-Arnold, you must be thinking, if I run down my contract and become a free agent, I'm gonna get
Yeah.
enormous signing on fee and get to pick any club I want to join.
Yeah,
I'm
and
playing with
when he knows
Jude, his best
he
mates.
knows full well Real Madrid had given him whatever he wanted to go and join them.
Yeah. Yeah,
Not
they
just
would,
Real
And I know
Madrid,
he's not that
not just
bothered about
Real
money,
Madrid.
but
It's not just Real Madrid buying thereafter right back. If you want, like I'm just saying, if he wants to go, like if he
why?
says I want to go to Bayern, thereafter a right back. If says I want to go to Man City,
Mm,
they're on the look for a long-term replacement for Walker. If he says he wants to go to Real Madrid, Carvajal is getting on. Barcelona, no fucking clear right back. Like he literally has the pick of any clubs he wants.
yeah,
mm.
absolutely.
Like he could even say like fuck you to Liverpool and go join Everton and he would be their best player. Like he could join anyone.
Yeah, I mean, there's not
Well,
a club out there that's going to turn around and say, "Ah, no, we don't want you because we've
And
got
even
somebody
even
in
for
that
those like
position." There's nobody you could, there's no team that's going to go turn down the chance to sign Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's that simple.
just tell me why it's been left so late in the day. Why wasn't this done
last season.
over a year ago?
Well, even if for me, normally you do this at 18 months into it left in a contract at the latest, at the very latest.
Yeah, I'm thinking 2 years, yeah.
Yeah,
Two
yeah.
years minimum.
With Trent,
No, last summer.
it should
Last
have been
summer
done.
after
Yeah,
after August.
eh,
After August you start doing that.
yeah. With Trent, you start doing it. I could understand. I was going to say I could understand why the Mo Salah and the Virgil ones left a bit longer. I can understand that because they were getting on. You want to see how they get on. In the final bit of the season before you decide whether you want to extend 2 years or just say no. This is the final one for you, lad. Sorry. That kind of thing. I can
Yeah,
understand that, but Trent Alexander-Arnold is what, 25? Is he now 26?
yeah.
There's absolutely no reason why you wouldn't be saying to him, "Here's a 5-year contract. Come on, man, please sign it for us." That's it. It's as simple as that, isn't it? You'd be saying, "There's no
Yeah,
reason why you." There's absolutely nothing to say. I can't think of a single reason why you'd be saying, "I will just let your contract run out, then, mate. We're not sure about you. We might let you go." What reason would you do that
well,
for? You've got to agree a contract with him. It's that simple.
Yeah, but if I'm Trent
three of your best
Alexander Arnold,
players, three of your best
sorry,
players are going to walk for nothing at the end of the season. You're not going to get a penny for them.
It's
It's just not right.
complete mismanagement. This should have been sorted a long
Yeah,
time ago.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
I can understand them having the excuse of they were changing the directors over, but that was fucking months ago. You've had plenty of time to sort
Yeah.
out new contracts, and Trent's contract should have been the utmost priority at the club. And
and
instead,
even with the change of managers on the horizon, the board
you do,
directors, sporting director, whatever the role definitions are, everyone changing around. Like you said, with Salah and Van Dijk, you can say maybe
yeah,
the manager has different ideas, maybe the players have different ideas around who the manager would be. Which trend you say when there is the new captain to be appointed, you will be one of the first names considered, and
mm,
you get a bumper contract, and you get to be the face of the project because you're a local lad, and regardless of
Yeah.
who the manager is, you're one of our main assets.
Listen, boys, I must apologise. I've got a doctor's appointment at 6:20, so I have really got to leave now. So thanks very much, and it's been
okay.
very interesting to
Thanks,
preview
Luke.
the season. And I will see you next Thursday. Thanks
Take
to
care,
anyone
mate.
who's
I'll see you
listening,
next
and
Thursday.
to our deep scratchers. Thanks a lot,
Take
Bye
care.
boys.
bye,
Ta-ra.
bye bye, Billy. Come back
Good
with
luck at the
an
doctors.
changes.
Yeah. I've forgotten what we were. Oh yeah.
Oh, we
So
can't. Like we can't. You have to like. There is no reason.
yeah, because there's
Like
not a manager.
reasonable
Can
explanation.
you imagine it like any manager coming in and saying, "Oh, well, I don't really want him." They're not going to say that. There's no chance. There's no reason not to have had it done. It's
No,
just
but even with a new manager, if a certain manager comes in and says I don't fancy him, He's an asset. Then you
Yeah,
can sell him on for enormous sums, if
yeah,
nothing else.
exactly. Yeah, true. Yeah, but I just can't imagine that there's a manager out there that wouldn't have said, no, I want to build my side around him. I mean, he's
Yeah,
everything you
you
could
could
want.
like
He's a
no,
hometown
maybe
boy
like
playing
maybe
for
he
the
has
team
a
he
fallout.
support.
Like you can have a fallout, you can have a class and everything, but whatever the reason, he's a valuable asset. With
Mm.
Salah and Van Dijk, you might say like if we give them 2 or 3 year contracts, let's say we give both of them 3 year contracts, then they maybe tail off or have a fallout and want to leave the club, then we might be stuck with their wages. Uh,
Yeah, because they're 30 odd
we,
years
we,
old.
yeah, 30 plus, no one would come in, but with Trent, they will be sweet as color, even at 100 million fee.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous situation. And instead, they're busy trying to sign players we don't need anyway. I mean, Mendy, what's the fucking point in signing him? Just somebody explain that. So why we were even trying for him. He's already turned down half of the English league already anyway.
It's not buying as well. It's
Yeah.
probably some money. Like, he's literally, it seems like he doesn't want to leave Spain.
Well, he wants to go to Barcelona. He's made that, but he's been public about that. He wants to move to Barcelona. But that aside, what the fucking hell's the point of signing him anyway when he's just McAllister? He's exactly the same player as McAllister. He plays the same way, does the same things. We don't need. It's a signing that Liverpool do not need. I like him a lot as a player, but he is McAllister. It's just another McAllister. He's exactly what you don't need because you can't play. He's not gonna give you anything to.
Different.
Yes, yeah. He's just giving you the same player you've already got, and that is pointless. You just end up.
When I look at Liverpool's midfield, what I see is maybe you need a bit of physicality,
Hmm.
height, tough tackling, running around like those
But
skill
that's
sets.
that's what Slot doesn't play with, and
No,
that's his
it just
problem.
doesn't matter. Like otherwise, you're just gonna have to pick between two of McAllister, Sobey, and then anyone who comes in. The,
It won't be
if he
Sobey.
doesn't, no, if he
Szoboszlai been
doesn't
playing
need
in
some
front.
other. But then you already have enough players. That's my point.
Yeah, exactly. We don't
You
need a
just want
midfielder. And so
someone on the
what are they doing instead? What's the next thing Hughes has moved on to? Trying to sign another goalkeeper. I mean,
and then loan him out as well.
yeah.
Let's not forget that part.
I mean, what the fuck is the point in that? And it's a goalkeeper that, by all accounts, I've not actually seen him play, so I can't be 100%. But every single review of him I've read up, from their fan forums and things like that, says he's terrible with his feet.
But
Which
even then, if you want to bring, like, if you want to have a goalkeeper on the books for when Allison leaves, but you can't keep him at the club right now, so you want to loan him out, then there already is a guy.
exactly, there's Jaros there already. Kelleher's
There's
there.
there's already Kelleher. You move Kelleher on
Yeah,
or loan, maybe a 1 year, maybe it could turn out to be a 2 year, 3 year deal. Who knows? But you make sure he, instead of, let's say you sign Mamadashvili and then move him to Bournemouth, you could just say Bournemouth.
take
You
Kelleher.
can have Kelleher, yeah, take Kelleher. Then you can make use of Jaros or whoever else there is on the books, and then in 1 year time take a review. If Allison says he wants to move, or if a huge offer comes in, anything can happen. If you want to replace, then you will have 1 year's uh, data on Kelleher, and then you can do your due diligence on others as well. What if, like you said, Navadashvili turns out to be unsuited to Liverpool? It doesn't even have to turn out to be bad. What if Mamadashvili is a De Gea Mark II and not Allison Mark II?
That's precisely what I'm reading everybody saying he is, and I can't judge. But if that's true, you're just thinking this. It just feels like what he's doing is still thinking he's at Bournemouth because he's buying players. He's not buying players for it to improve the team. He's buying players that might possibly be a punt worth taking in 10 years' time.
No, it seems like he is kind of sort of afraid. Like, what if our best players get cherry picked?
Yeah, which doesn't often happen when you're a team like Liverpool's. Like Man United, you
Yeah,
don't
but
often lose your best players like that, do you?
even if you want to move them on, it's hard
Yeah, because they're on big
because
money.
yeah, either they're on big money and nobody can afford them, or they don't want to leave because nobody's gonna be a step up from where they are.
Exactly. So it's very rare you lose players like, and if you do, well, you get the money to replace them anyway. So it's just an absolute waste of money this Mamadou really sign, and it doesn't make any sense at all. We don't need a keeper. It's one thing we don't need. Probably it's the one position in the squad where we've actually got too many keepers, and we need to be looking at which ones are we, should be in the squad and which ones should be going out on loan or being sold. That's what we should be doing, not saying signing more. It's ridiculous.
No, if he was on available on a free, and then I would say like, okay, Kelleher
Take a
is
punt,
starting
yeah.
to get easy feet. Yeah, he's getting itchy feet, so maybe get some money in, helps with the accounting as well. I probably see, like, even in accounting sense, I probably see Kelleher fetching less money than what Liverpool are gonna pay for Mahmoud Ashwidi. And then you already have question marks whether he's even an upgrade on Kelleher.
Yeah, I don't see the sense in this at all. I don't see the sense in this summer at all. I can understand it's difficult to find play, and you want to give slot time to assess the squad, but they already knew coming into this. They already knew which player, what they needed to strengthen the squad. They were even looking at left-sided centre backs and right wingers. We know that before the season started. That's what the club needs, the team needs. You've got no one to come in when Salah's out injured or needs a rest, except Doku's just a no-end product, and he's only a teenager anyway. So you can't really expect him to be ideal and perfect and come in and be brilliant because he's not shown anything to suggest he's any good. He's good enough anyway. In fact, he's being made of, by all accounts, he's available for transfer. So they can't even think he's that good either. So where's the replacement for Salah if he's needed? And then you've got obviously the left-sided centre back because Virgil's getting old. And he's only got 1 year
Unless
left on his contract as well. The pair of them have only got 1 year left on their fucking contract. So you've got to be signing replacements, haven't you?
and also a left back, a long term. But basically, what
Yeah,
Liverpool need
I'd
is
let Beck take that left. I like Beck. I think he's good enough to be, potential to take over that role if he's given a chance.
yeah, but what I'm saying is those are the places where you look for players. But even then, it's not like, oh, what are we gonna do first game of the season?
Hmm.
It's a long term option you look for.
Yeah, but then instead, what you signing in a keeper when you've already got too many? What's going on there? And a midfielder when you've already got plenty of options in there, and he's only the same as you've already got. If it was something different to give the manager a different option, then fair enough. I could have understood the Zubimendi thing. If he'd been like a Rodri, kind of player, big, he's good on the ball, offers that playmaking ability, but also good defensively. I could have understood it, but he's not. I mean, people are getting confused because he replaced Rodri in the Euros, and so they think he's a defensive midfielder. He's not a defensive midfielder at all. He's more of a playmaker who just plays, just sits deep. That's all. It's not the same thing at all. Yeah, no, I just don't. I just think this summer's been an absolute waste of time for Liverpool by the looks of it. And it's going to come down to how good Slot is now, rather than he's going to have his arms held back behind his back by these three numpties up above him. How these?
By the way, what has Trent been playing? What has Trent been playing preseason?
Well, he hasn't, has he? Because of the Euros. He was away with England,
Oh,
remember? So he's only
okay.
played one game, and he played at right back because we were playing 2 matches in a day. So he played one of them at right back, and Bradley played the other. So So he's literally had that's it, one game, and he played an inverted right back role. Looked good actually. To be fair, the team looked really good in that match against Sevilla. But
Yeah, but it's pre-season. We will see what.
exactly, I was going to say it, but it was just a pre-season match. So, but they're at the same point where they're getting ready for their season because their season starts tonight, the La Liga. So
Yeah, but still, it's a competitive nature, and it just doesn't exist. It
no,
shouldn't exist in pre-season, if I'm being honest,
no,
because when there is
it's just about
competitive,
getting fit. It's and just trying out new things.
you just don't read too much into things. You read into setups, like how the team is setting up, how they're trying to play, and then how fit the guys are.
Yeah, that's it. It is basically just not important, not a really relevant thing. But I was just saying we did look really good. So it does look like Slot's got something about him. When he's coaching the team well, they do look a much better side than they did the last couple of seasons under Klopp. It's got to be said right now.
And also, but
So, but
in terms of transfers, you also need to move players on.
yeah, that's the thing. We haven't. I mean, they're selling players like Clark, etc. All the kids. Easy enough. They're getting rid of them, which fully understand. You've got to clear them out, bit by bit. You can't have the ones hanging around that aren't good enough. But there's
Even
players
if they're
like
good enough, you can't have 11 players all coming through at the same time. It just
no.
isn't possible.
And you've got but you've got like all these centre backs at Liverpool. You've got what, 6 of them? Is it now? We've still got Nat Phillips, for fuck's sake. How has he
Yeah,
not
I was
been
just
sold?
gonna.
I know,
Yeah,
how is he still there? And then you've got Kanate, who
there's
can't
Reece
stay
Williams.
fit.
There's Reece Williams. There's
Yeah, yeah, Reece Williams. I don't think
he's
he's
still no, but
who
he's
can.
still on the books.
Yeah, but he's got stupid again. Edwards, thank you very much for another fucking stupid contract. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'll stop there before I start getting carried. Yeah, that's another one that's ridiculously overplayed for a league. He's a League Two, League One level player at best, and he's got a Premier League contract, wage-wise, basically. And so we're stuck with him, thanks to Edwards, until his contract expires, and he's never going to be good enough. Never was. Nobody ever looked at him and thought, you know what, this lad's got a future at the club. Nobody did. And yet, somehow, he's got a contract like he had one. Yeah, and you've got Gomez, you've got Kanate, you've got Reece Williams, you've got Nat Phillips, Sven
I
Vandenberg, um, Virgil van Dijk, obviously, and, of course, Sharon Kwanzaa. So there's 7, in fact, centre-backs. And they're not being it's not being cut back a bit. At least 3 of them really should be gone. And for me, that's Kanate, Reece Williams, and Nat Phillips, which I like Nat Phillips. And I know he gives us all, but he's not Liverpool level, is he? Really, not. He's great as a fourth choice on a low wage, yeah. But when we've got better there. We've got 4 better defenders, so there's no need for it. So
and then you probably bring in one guy to be a
yeah, left-sided
long
one.
replacement for Van Dijk and give Kwanzaa, Vandenberg a go at getting the first spot fixed.
Exactly, they can fight over the spot alongside Virgil, and the other guy can fight to try and take Virgil's place where it should be. But yeah, we don't definitely need to compare it down a lot. It just looks like they haven't got a clue what they're doing. To be honest, these guys, the guys on. Even if they decide it's different, they decide it's not Kanate they want to get rid of. They've decided to get rid of Vandenberg because he wants to
Vandenberg.
go. I can understand that, and I'll happily. So, but they haven't even done that. They've literally just not done anything with him. Do you know they get offers for Endo, they refuse to negotiate them. I mean, if you don't want him, you've made it quite clear that you're not really convinced he's got a future at the club. So why not negotiate as good a fee as you can get for him and give him a chance to go and make the most of it? He deserves better, in my opinion, that lad. The way his attitude's fantastic. I mean, I like him. For me, he'd be playing every week. You know, it just not every game, like, but at least every week he'd play because he needs a rest at his age, like. But he's not going to get games in the slot, is he? Let's be honest. Rarely. Maybe come on as a late, as a substitute, see out a game. Fine,
No, but
but
we say things like that. Oh, this guy isn't probably gonna suit the system or whatever. But if they're given a chance, who knows? They might
I think if he gets a
turn
chance, I
things
think
around.
he'll develop into like he did when he first came in, where he struggled at first. He looked miles off the place, and then he just gradually got better and better. And for a while, he was probably the best player, best player at the club for a short period. And then he just tired out. He started to struggle towards the end because obviously it's a different level playing in the Premier League from the Bundesliga. So, yeah. Anyway, should we talk about something else? Because otherwise, I'm going to start going on about.
Transfers.
Yeah, we could do the. You want to go through the transfers? I was going to say about the Sheffield Wednesday. You heard about that banning the fans from wearing fake shirts to matches? It's going to throw them out if they turn up in fake shirts.
What?
You not heard
Why?
that? If you turn up in a fake shirt, they're going to throw you out. Apparently.
So they're gonna employ people to check the quality of the shirts.
I have no idea, mate. I have no idea how they intend to police it, but that's what they've told. They've said, don't wear don't wear a fake shirt, or we'll ban you from the ground. Not
And
coming, not
so they
welcome.
require people to come in with their buy receipts with the
I've,
bills.
I've no
Like
idea how
how
it
do you
works.
prove?
I mean, maybe they'll check their DH Gate account before they allow them in. I have no fucking idea, but that's what they've told them. So,
Yeah, but how do you police and how do you regulate that? Come on, it's,
well,
it's a stupid idea.
yeah, it is a stupid idea. I mean, Nottingham Forest, though, have told fans not to post negative comments on social media or they'll get banned from the ground as well. So,
And with the Greek owner, you have to be careful anyway.
it's
There
insane.
is, like I said, there is freedom of speech, but I cannot guarantee freedom after speech.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's just, it's madness. I mean, um, yeah, anyway, so we'll do the transfers. We got Pepe retired, obviously, age 41. That's the first thing of the week.
Still younger than you.
20 years older than me, you mean?
No, I'm in 25 years younger.
Feel like it at the moment, I tell you. After talking to you, I always feel a lot fucking older. Hey, it's draining. Yeah. Aaron Anselmo's left Chelsea to go to Boca Juniors on loan. I have no idea who he is. And that
Yeah,
probably
no,
wouldn't at Chelsea does either. Somebody will
no,
probably be saying to him, hey?
no, there will have been two new managers by the time he's back.
Yeah, yeah, he's only going for a season, so there might just be only two, but otherwise there could be 4, 5, 6 of them at the rate they're going. Um, Mika Hamilton's left Manchester City to go to Middlesbrough. Don't know who he is, so don't recognise him at all, to be honest. Callum Marshall's gone from West Ham to Huddersfield Town on loan. Again, just a kid on loan, I assume. The big, we suppose we best mention the Danny Olmo from RBL to Barcelona. That's a big move.
Yeah, but they can't resist him.
I,
They finally find some way to get the money together, but now they can't resist him.
it's how
Barcelona are a
they're,
fucking hilarious mess.
they're 2 billion in debt. How are they able to pay money like that for a player? It's ridiculous. I mean,
By
still
making
paying huge
ridiculous
wages.
off.
I mean, they have to pay Frankie de Jong 900,000 a week because they're back paying his COVID money.
Yeah.
So,
How they shouldn't be allowed to sign players before they move some on.
yeah, they should be. I don't understand how they're able to, because surely I thought La Liga had a salary cap and that, and it based on how much they brought in and how much they're allowed to. Surely, they've got to take into account the debts they've got and say, well, you can't sign anybody until that debt's reduced.
Yeah, that is why they are not allowed to do this to him.
2 billion. How do you get into 2 billion debt? It's not
When you're one
million,
of the highest,
billion.
yeah,
B.
ha-
B.
by paying off the referees,
That's-
corruption.
Yeah, yeah. A large part of that did go on them, didn't it? That's just insanity. We got Finley Burns has left Man City to go to Hull City on loan. Another kid on loan. Dennis Undav left Brighton and Hove Albion to go to VSV Stuttgart. He didn't impress at all, so I'm not surprised on that one. He wasn't very
No,
good
but
for them.
no, he did really well for Stuttgart. He even managed
Yeah,
to get into the German national team setup.
yeah. But at Brighton, he just couldn't get a game. Unfortunate for him. So I don't know
Yeah,
why, because they were struggling as well for goals. I don't know why they didn't give him a chance.
no, he actually scored a hat trick for them as well. Now I remember,
Hmm.
even for Brighton, like the season before last, at the back end of the season, he was starting to look like he settled down and starting to find his feet, and then this send him out of loan.
Yeah, but
I'm perplexed because they brought in another guy to replace, like,
De
in the
Zerbi
forward
just
line.
messed around with players. He didn't like players who did well for some reason. Did he? He always seemed to, if they did well, like the guy they sold to Arsenal. Oh,
Trossard, you
sorry,
know what?
yeah.
Like he reminds me of Arteta. Just too clever for his own good.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. Yeah,
Let's see how he goes on at Marseille.
well. Um, Billy Cometio left Liverpool to Dundee. Hardly a surprise, he wasn't very good. I don't know why he was really highly rated at one point. I don't know why, because the moment you watch him, you think, oh my god, this guy's terrible. I mean, he made
No, but
Jimmy
he was built
Traore
like a
look
clock.
brilliant.
No, he was built like a clock at a young age. So
But he was Bambi on ice, you know what I mean? He was all arms and legs and no ability. I don't know why. I didn't rate him at all. From the moment I saw, I just thought, no, he's not got anything. He's got no brain. Seems like a nice lad, but he just hasn't got a football brain at all. Tyler Onyongo, I think me and Billy mentioned him, joined Stockport County from Everton on loan. Another Chelsea goalkeeper went out on loan. Gabriel Slamina joined Barnsley. I mean, that puts them down to only 43 keepers at the club. Oh yeah,
no,
I thought you'd want to.
no, they don't get the number down. Chelsea, they just sign
Yeah, they'll go. They'll have
someone
already
else to be.
replaced him, won't
Yeah.
they? Yeah. That's the strange thing. It's when they send someone out on loan, they do seem to think they have to replace them and sign somebody else to go in the slot that they haven't actually made. It's weird.
I seem to remember like last time it was 45 when we did the podcast. It rose to 50. Now it's back down to 40 or 44 or something again. So it's like they sign and say, like move players on out on loan or sell them on like on a
That's
daily basis. It's just hard to keep track.
that's impossible, mate. I mean, we've just gone through. We've done a few teams, a few transfers. I mean, and we've already done two of them are Chelsea ones, Chelsea players. They're moving in like what 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 players. Two of them are Chelsea. So 1/5 of the movement transfers have been Chelsea players. It's insanity. for the whole Premier League, like that is. Yeah. And that's count. In fact, no, it's because I've counted Danny Olmo and Pepe retiring, so it's just 8. So it's 1/4 of the moves. David De Gea signed for Fiorentina on a free. I thought you'd be pleased at that. Him back in football.
Yes, he's back.
Yeah,
Back again.
he deserves to be playing. To be fair, it's quite still just a shock. It's taken so long for him to find a club. Unreal, that is.
No, but was he
He must
he
have just
really
wanted one.
struggled to find? Yeah, I was like maybe he just wanted to spend more time with his family.
Yeah, because remember, him and his missus have basically had a long distance relationship for years, haven't they?
Yeah,
Because
and
she didn't
also
want to.
like he didn't need the
Understandably, she
money.
didn't
Come
want to
on.
go to Spain. She didn't want to go to Manchester from Spain, so yeah, it's odd still though. But yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully,
but he
hopefully
didn't need
he's not
money.
lost too much. He's not.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I think I might be supporting Fiorentina next season.
Okay.
No, like when you watch different leagues, you want to keep an eye on certain players or certain
Yeah.
teams. I think it's gonna be Fiorentina for me. And before anybody says something, yeah, that is how much I absolutely love the guy. And I genuinely mean I love the guy.
Yeah. Wow. Not surprised. He was great for you. To move on, this one also sort of involves Man United. Jean-Claire Todibo left Nice to go to West Ham United because he couldn't go to Man United, so he's gone there on loan with an option to buy. But obviously they'll
Is it
probably
an
buy
option
him
or
and then
obligation?
option. So
Okay.
but they'll probably buy him and then sell him to United, won't they? Man United then. A nice
Or
little
maybe they
bargain.
can maybe Ineos can do a little dirty job on West Ham and tell the Divo to resect them and then get him on.
Hmm. I just think it just feels like they've literally done a deal to move him to Man United via West Ham while giving him a chance to adapt to the league as well and get going.
Oh yeah, probably because he was very close to moving to Juventus. Like Juve were trying to get the deal over the line, and then last moment West Ham hijacked the deal.
Mm. Yeah, it does feel like that's what the deal is. He's going to go there just so they can sell him to Man United to get round the UEFA not
Ownership
allowing it.
issues, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But
next
what?
season UEFA might allow
How?
it. We might
Why
win
are they not
different.
allowed to buy him anyway? I don't understand when Man City could buy Savinho from one of their feeder clubs. Why is that
And
allowed?
and then even now, like he's moving to another team in the same league. Now then, why can't we match the offer?
Yeah, exactly. Why can't you go and pay what the option, whatever the option to buy is? Why can't you go and match it? I don't understand it either. Doesn't make sense to me. I really don't understand it. You either ban the multiple ownerships of clubs, which is what I would do. I don't think it should be allowed, and then there's no problem. You got to make everything should be as above board as you can possibly make it, and no loans, no multiple ownerships cuts out a lot of the cheating involved in football. But you can't stop trying. If you're allowing multiple ownerships, then you've got to allow them to transfer players between themselves. Otherwise, it's a restriction of trade, and it makes no sense anyway. Because I don't get it. I don't understand why they said he can't. But yeah, Lewis Kumas left Liverpool to go to Stoke City on loan. Facundo Buonanotte,
Yeah,
Brighton
Buonanotte.
to Leicester on loan. Interesting one, that one. Sometimes he showed signs of having something about him at times, but other times he looked absolute dog work. So be interesting to see how he gets on there. Dominic Solanke obviously has gone to Spurs from Bournemouth. I think he'll do all right because of how good Postecoglou is, rather than because of how good Solanke is. You see what I mean? And the way he sets up his team will mean he'll get so many chances. It wouldn't matter, would it? Or do you think I think differently?
I think it's an interesting thing. But most importantly for you as a Liverpool supporter,
Yeah,
you you
7.6
got you
million.
got extra money. Yeah.
Yeah, and we still can't sign a fucking player. Uh, another one that I just thought was interesting move, even though it wasn't a big money move or anything, but it's a free, in fact. Alexis Sanchez going back to Udinese from Inter Milan on a free. I thought that was
Yeah, 18.
yeah,
18 years after the first
yeah.
move.
I thought that was because he's had such a bad time of it since joining. It's weird. He was brilliant at Arsenal, and then it was just like he fell off a cliff when he was signed for Man United. When it was bizarre. From
No,
what he
it's very
said,
easy. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But
like I
it's
said, from what he
very
said,
easy for us to
he
say.
didn't want to move.
It's very easy for us to sit here and say, "Oh, he got the huge money deal
Yeah.
on a long contract. He lost motivation, whatever." But there are many things at play.
He had
He
that.
just never. He never settled at Man United. And isn't it like he's a bit antisocial outside of football? Doesn't get along with like it's not about not getting along, but he just doesn't go out into social gatherings even with his teammates, and then
Mm.
that rubs off people the wrong way. And it's not just about him, on about many players of that nature. It just
I,
seems to rub off
I certainly don't
wrongly
think
on
it's about
people.
money because he was already immensely wealthy from he got a big money move to Barcelona, big money move to Arsenal. He was on a huge salary there anyway. So, I don't think I don't think money would have made the difference, or it would have affected him already. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but also like what I was trying to say is for some players, not everybody gets to elongate their career up to 34, 35. Some players peak off and then tail off earlier than others.
I mean, from what he said is, he wasn't happy at Man United at all. He didn't want to go. He regretted the move from the moment he got there. So,
Looking at the state of the club, for whatever it was worth, Arsenal under Wenger was very good
yeah, it's a totally
club
different
setup.
setup at the
No, it
moment.
was set up. It was set up really well. The stadium, training ground, everything was right
And
on point.
and the atmosphere around the club was much better. You could understand, you could fully understand why he couldn't get the same level at United because it wasn't the same level as what he was used to at the time. And
Yeah, but on paper, like just imagine, like on paper, he's like an ideal
mm,
attacker for Mourinho. Someone who's very good at getting goals and assists, but also has immense work rate.
mm, yeah, he nearly covered as much ground as Mesut Ozil.
No, but Ozil is a lazy player, isn't he?
Which so it's amazing, isn't it? Everyone says, "Oh, he's really, really hard-working guy, Sanchez." Yeah, Ozil always covered more ground than them when they were in the same team. It's like,
Yeah, but it was never because Sanchez wasn't hard working. That's it's just
yeah, it's just
it's,
people just like to get at Ozil. I think it's because of his eyes. He looked a bit odd.
I think it's
Like,
also because like with Sanchez, Ozil comes across as a bit awkward and like
hmm.
I don't think antisocial is the correct word for either people, but they just don't seem like they really enjoy the social gatherings and appearances and things like that.
And the media, they didn't like working with the media at all. Neither of them. I mean, Ozil was far more interested in his charity work and stuff like that. And he was great around the club. I mean, the Arsenal staff absolutely adored him. You know what I mean? At Real Madrid, the staff there absolutely loved him, but the media, he didn't get on with the journalists because he didn't want to be bothered with them. He wasn't interested in it. That just wasn't his thing. He
Sadly,
had no interest in it.
and sadly, it seems like one of the most important things for players, managers, everyone, like to have friends in the media.
Oh yeah, it's massively important now because they'll set out an agenda. Oh yeah, and you only have to look at Southgate. How he managed to stay in the England job for so long was simple because the media was on his side. So you
Or you
couldn't
could also look
criticise
at
him.
Lampard.
Yeah, Lampard. I mean, fucking hell, how was he ever getting a job?
How does he get mentioned for the next England manager's role? Come on.
Oh, it's yeah. I mean, yeah, you couldn't find a worse coach if you looked. At least Wayne Rooney's had the decency, the sense to just keep dropping down clubs and
Yeah,
saying like,
drop down the league.
I mean, okay, Plymouth are actually in the Championship. He hasn't dropped down leagues, but like he's dropped down levels as in the size of the club he's gone with.
And
Fair play
probably
to
the
him.
pay packet as well.
Yeah, he's just out to try and do the job. He actually, it matters to him about trying to prove he can do it. So,
No, it just he seems to have the enthusiasm
mm,
for managers if he just doesn't have the ability or
intelligence.
yeah.
But if you're given the right backroom staff, that can be worked around though. So, the enthusiasm can go a long way if you get the right backroom staff around them. It's just finding them that could, that like he'll listen
I
to.
I will be honest. I think there are two things that make Rooney's job as a manager quite hard for him. One, he was a very good player. So, like with what I think with a lot of very good players, it's a lot of the times you don't understand why the team and the players can't do what you could do. And then also, I don't think Rooney was exposed to great coaching, neither at either at Everton or United. We had good coaches, but we had managers in place.
Yeah, and his lifestyle doesn't help.
That is the obvious main thing.
Yeah,
He will probably end up having more scandals and rumors about him than all of the squad combined at Plymouth.
yeah, he's got the wrong. Yeah, you got a lifestyle like that. It's difficult to have discipline among your club when you're still living the life like you're like you're a child, and he is. He's still living it like that. That's an issue. Anyways, Caleb Wiley left Chelsea to go to Racing Strasbourg on loan. Another Chelsea. I mean, how many freaking
Yeah,
Chelsea players?
but that's what like it's the same. It's the same thing as the City Football Group, Strasbourg and Chelsea.
Yeah, but then incoming to Chelsea was Pedro Neto from Wolves.
Like I told you, if someone leaves Chelsea, there's someone else coming in.
But I mean, if you're Neto, why would you choose to go to Chelsea? I'm with
Big
that
money.
guy. I'm with that guy who said, said if I was a footballer, I don't understand why any of, as a onlooker, like I don't understand why anyone would choose to sign for Chelsea. If I was speaking to my agent and he said to me, I think you should look at this Chelsea have put an offer in for you. I think you should sign for him. I'd sack him. Not even without wouldn't even give it a second thought. I'd say no because the only thing you're interested in is making money, not on what's best for my career. Bye bye. I'll get an agent that actually is looking out for me, not for himself. Straight away. That's the key. That's the moment you know your agent's a shithouse who's only interested in making money.
No, the only players that should, I think, be like genuinely interested in going to Chelsea are those who are looking for a step up in money and those who grew up supporting them.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, you have to say like, come on,
But your agent
I
should still be trying to cut. Your agent should be saying, "No, you don't want to go into." I know you supported them as a boy, but they're a shambles. you could come elsewhere and go to them later when they've sorted them. You know, when they've had a bit of time to sort themselves out. That's what I'd be saying. If you're a kid, I mean, this loan system they've got doesn't. I don't care what people say. It doesn't work. It doesn't help them. I mean, they've got worse since they've done it. They've got gradually worse and worse and worse and worse. Even though they're spending huge amounts of money, they're not getting better. They're getting worse.
And also, maybe on a business side, there are different things in the accounting system that helps them. But as a football club, the players that get farmed out on loan, they're just there to be moved on a permanent deal, anyways. It could be a Tammy Abraham who got moved on 2 years after that. It could be Mason Mount. It could be Conor Gallagher. But basically, it's just a means for them to keep the players on the books so that they can handle the accounts for next season or the season after, and nothing more.
Yeah,
as players, I don't see how Kane and Dewsbury Hall and Gallagher are that much more different, if better. But then they signed KDH as a replacement for Gallagher, and then want to sell Gallagher for what seems to be a similar or probably lesser fee.
It makes no sense.
As a whole, Chelsea are shambles, and they're too much in it for me to completely comprehend.
Yeah, it's mental, absolutely mental. Yeah, next one, Luke and Betty from Manchester City to Northampton Town. So, don't know him either. Another one for those that you don't know. What's next?
The young ones, the childs.
Fabio Carvalho left Liverpool to go to
Brentford. That was out of the blue.
No, I've been talked about for a while. I mean, this for a few weeks, quite a while. But people were just thinking.
Obviously, the only thing I was in the loop with Carvalho was that goal against United in the preseason game. I sent you the clip where he scores against us. 2 days later, I log into one of the websites and it's like, oh, Carvalho to Brentford is done. 27 million. What a deal for you guys.
Exactly. He was struggling. He wasn't getting in the side. Wasn't it? He was just.
And then there's the sell-on clause as well, isn't there?
Yeah,
like 10, 15, whatever percentage.
And his attitude had been very poor. Oh. Yeah.
And even then, if he goes and does well, then you can sign him on for a discounted price.
Yeah, you got a resale. Yeah, buy
it. Yeah, the sell-on value, sell-on clause is. It's a good thing because if he does well and then gets a move, you get a piece of the.
Yeah, I think there's a really good bit of business for Liverpool. I can't argue with that one. He wasn't getting near the side. Yeah, wasn't. He'd impressed in pre-season, but his attitude had been stinking and for years. And while he was very well liked by the other players and that, and it seems like a really nice lad, he didn't have the right attitude. And to be honest, as a player, he just didn't fit.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. Like, if you kept him for one more season, the scope for getting a bigger valuation for him was minimal.
If not more likely, his value would have lowered because he's not going to get in the team, and the loaning him out would have probably just seen him struggle again. I think you did the right thing with that one. I think it was the only thing you could really do. Emerson Royale left Tottenham Hotspur to AC Milan. I'm just shocked anybody wants.
Why? Why?
The fact that AC Milan seeing him, because he's awful. One of the worst players I've ever seen. God, I mean, I can't even think of a single attribute he had, apart from he could run very fast. But as an actual footballer, he was terrible.
Yeah, but the fact that he could run very fast was in and of itself a hindrance for him.
Yeah,
He couldn't slow down properly.
yeah, he had no coordination, did he?
Oh, you took the words out of my mouth. I was just gonna say he's uncoordinated.
Mm. And no brain, nothing about. I mean, there's nothing about him you can say that you can say. Well, he had a redeeming feature. You know, there was nothing. Literally, he was one of those that you just think, what the fuck were the scouts doing when they looked at him? I mean, whoever
Yeah, but
scouted him
what
should
an
sack him.
agent! What an agent he has. First, we got to move to Barcelona. Got
Yeah,
loaned out, moved on to Betis. Then got a loan, like moved back to Barcelona. Then you get to move to Premier League and play for Tottenham. Then now you're getting moved to AC Milan. He's falling upwards.
it's astonishing. Somehow, yeah, no matter how bad he is, he seems to be getting all the luck. It's just, it's beyond belief. Um, Well, I know this move was one you'd think is a mistake for City. Is Julian Alvarez join Atletico Madrid? Like I said, I don't see. He's in midfield. I think he was awful for them. I think he was part of the reason why they looked so poor last season because he played midfield so much. And I didn't like him there at all. I just don't think, as a striker, he's very good, but he's not going to play there because Haaland is. So he's only there. Basically, he was just injury cover for Haaland, and I can understand why he wanted to move. Cause
Yeah, but I myself don't see the point for anyone, even with the money for City. I don't see how they can get a player who's better suited for the role they would be asking. I can't see how Athletic are an upgrade on mm, Man City. Even as a guy who's more of a first team player and not a first 11 player, but he was gonna get a lot of game time, I'm sure. Now, and also like if you're Alvarez, you should be thinking. You should have been thinking next season Haaland might go. He has a clause.
yeah,
De Bruyne already looks like he wanted to go. Then there's the uh, drunken Englishman. There are two drunken Englishmen there in attack, so there might be some movement. Like if he waited one more year, then his prospects would probably be better.
yeah.
But anyways, that's a lot of profit for City. So
Yeah, it makes sense for City, I think, because he was. You don't want to keep an
you
unhappy
wanted to
player.
move. Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to move, so it makes sense for City. They got a big fee. I just don't think the fee matched what he'd shown. I don't think he'd shown anything like enough to deserve a fee that big. But Simeone does seem to just splash out ridiculous fees sometimes, doesn't he? I mean, look at the amount he paid for João Felix.
No, I was just gonna say is half what Felix was paid, and is twice the player Felix was when he was signed.
Hmm. Yeah, it's still strange. It is a strange move because, like, he's not moving up, is he? He's just. But at least he'll be playing. He'll be first choice there, and he'll play where he wants to play up front. I would think.
Yeah, but Griezmann and Alvarez is not a. I know you seem to think different, but this is just one is left-footed, another is right-footed, and then they're pretty much a very similar kind of players.
No, Alvarez is more of a brute. He's more of an
Alvarez
attacking
has a little
midfielder.
bit of. I think he has a little bit of what Aguero had
Yeah.
in terms of physicality, but no, they needed something else. I know Atletico have been linked with uh, the Norwegian guy, Charlotte.
Oh yeah, Soloff. Yeah. Yeah, he used to
Let's
play
see
for
how
Crystal Palace,
what it
didn't he?
goes.
And
A play is
what?
a loose term to throw there.
I know he was,
He was
but
signed
no,
by
he
them.
was played a lot on the wing. To be fair to him, he
Yeah,
really wasn't given
right
the
wing.
best chances. He played. He really wasn't used well by Palace at all. So
No, but you
You,
played right wing and then you're asked to feed the lamppost.
yeah,
Benteke.
exactly. Benteke was playing up front instead of him, and he was. I mean, he was only a youngish player at the time, but still, But you've got to say, I don't think he's quite top class though. Didn't look it at all, did he? In anything he did. So,
Yeah, but he was the second highest goal scorer last season in
mm,
La Liga.
yeah,
In La Liga. So.
it's really odd that was. Anyway, yeah, Dane Scarlett left Tottenham to join Oxford United, so it's a big jump up in class for him. He'll have to see how he gets on there.
Is
Next
it a
one's
loan or a permanent transfer?
hmm, permanent one. That
The
one,
Scarlet one. Permanent.
permanent one. That's
Wow.
why I was saying this big step up in class for
Ah.
him. He'll have to. But this next one, I know you're not. You're quite worried about this one for when you face them, because this is Aaron Wan-Bissaka joining West Ham from Man United.
Hmm. It's gonna happen.
You
I
just
said it's gonna happen. He's gonna pocket Rashford. We're gonna
oh
take Rashford off. Bring Garnacho there. He's gonna pocket Garnacho as well. He'll probably pocket whoever else that goes there as well. He has a point to prove now. He's already a very good defender, one-on-one defender, but now he even has a point to prove against us.
he's a horrible player to
Bloody
play
hell.
against him.
No,
You
as an attacker, you just don't want to face him.
No, exactly. You just want to. You just have to look to pass when he comes. When he, when he's there in position and ready for you, you've just got to pass the ball on, haven't you? Because you're not going to beat him one on one. I've not seen anybody get past him on the dribble. I don't know how he does it. I'd really love to know what he does differently from others.
But you know what? We always criticize players for uh, being raised and coming up in one position, then being shafted around in another position, and then lacking the basics. He's the he's the antithesis, the opposite of that. He's apparently a winger. I know there are clips of that. I I don't I don't buy that it's actually him.
Yeah.
You're the winger who was shown into right back because he was really good in training against Zaha, and now he's a fucking amazing one-on-one defender, but can't even cross the ball and struggles to control the ball, pass the ball.
Yeah, because what happened, okay, for those who don't know, what happened was Crystal Palace had an injury crisis and he was on the verge of he was in the under 21s, but they were looking to get rid of him basically. He wasn't anywhere near the side, he was a winger at the time, right winger, and they just needed they just literally needed someone, and they wanted someone who wasn't, because the under 20, I think the under 21s had a game coming up or something, so they were. The story goes anyway. Obviously, you don't know how much of this is apocryphal, but the story goes that like he was basically completely he wasn't getting near the side, so that he was the free one that they could move up and just play, just put him at right back, and he'll just to make up the numbers for a training match. Literally, he was the one. He's surplus, so just stick him there. Like at least he can play on the right side. And he just absolutely shut down Sahar in training, absolutely destroyed him. For easily. I mean, he was absolutely so. The next thing you know, he's first choice right back at the club. But to be fair to him, when he was at Palace, he looked really good at right back in every dimension of it. He looked really good because he benefited from the coaching, the way they constantly drill the players. So he was positioning and all that was excellent. At United, he really looked to struggle with positioning and that. There was quite a few times you thought if he got his positioning right, when he understood the role again, he could be a fantastic right back. But he's just lost his way because he wasn't getting coached.
We'll see how it goes at first time, but I'm sure he's gonna dominate the right side when we face them.
Yeah, you don't want to be United player. You don't want to be United's left winger coming up against him, do you? No, not at
I'm
all.
pretty sure he's even gonna pull out one of his last ditch goal line clearances.
He'll probably put in the cross for the winner, knowing your luck as well, won't he? That's the thing. He'll put in a pinpoint cross, and you'll be going, "Where the fuck was that come from?" Because I haven't seen him do one of them for
Oh, remind me,
because you said
Chris.
he dropped off.
Remind me to draft him. Remind me to draft him into my fantasy Premier League
Yeah,
team
just before
because
Christmas.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we play them, because I'm pretty sure he's gonna get an assist. He's gonna probably get an assist with his left foot,
Mm.
and then score the winner, late winner,
I wouldn't be
because he cannot
surprised.
win.
Yeah, and he'll keep a clean sheet as well.
Oh, he cannot score.
Yeah. What's the next?
For a winger, how can you get like so, like you said, Bambi on ice the moment you get near the halfway line, let alone pass it?
He just looked like he'd never played anywhere near an attacking role in any kind of game whatsoever. In fact, you half wondered if he was a goalkeeper before, rather than a fucking winger. I mean, there's nothing about his game
And there are clips,
that's
and then there are clips of him as a kid when he was like cutting in on his left foot from the right side, like pinpoint finishes,
yeah.
dribbling past players, shots and crosses. Like it can't have been the same guy. You
No,
don't lose that ability. That isn't down to coaching.
that is really weird. It is. It is very bizarre. Everything about him. I mean, yeah, I don't understand it either. But yeah, anyway, should we move on? Hugo Bueno's left Wolves to go to Feyenoord on loan. Left them a bit light at left back, that has. But, he needed
So
regular
it probably
football and
means
they've got...
Aitnuri ain't moving. It
Yeah,
probably means
I would think
Aitnuri
so,
ain't
yeah.
moving.
Because he's the only left back at the club. I mean, they're relying on Doherty as the cover, really. Or that Totti. Both, one's a right back and one's a centre half, so it's not ideal. Karl Heinz left at Arsenal to go to Real Valladolid on loan. I had to mention this one because for good reason is Ali Wahi leaving Lens to join Marseille's sex offender 11 because they seem to be signing as many sex offenders as they can find this summer, don't they? To add to Greenwood. And I've got that Wahi. For those who don't know, I'd suggest you Google it. Wahi, who joined Marseille from Racing Land, to see what I mean. He is a sex offender, convicted one. I'm not just saying that. He is genuinely a convicted sex offender. Julian Araujo joined Bournemouth from Barcelona. Very odd move that is, isn't it? Joining Bournemouth from Barcelona. Are you still there? Have you gone? Because you've gone
No,
very
I
quiet.
am still here. I know I am still here. I have nothing to contribute. But
Yeah, you didn't say anything on that. I was
no,
thinking,
I was gonna say it is a weird move, but then it's not the first time someone has moved from Barca to Bournemouth.
it's for peanuts as well, though. I mean, normally, like any player that's played for Barcelona tends to get a decent price just because they play for Barcelona. So it's a
Yeah, but he's not from Barcelona A team. He's from Barcelona B team, basically.
yeah, he's not much of a player either, is he? Let's be honest. So, speaking of not much of a player, the player you've signed to replace Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he'll probably be no doubt on the injury list within a couple of hours. Nusser Mazraoui from Bayern Munich, obviously part of a double deal with Matthias de Ligt. The Harry Maguire.
Speaking about clubs who want to get as many criminal charges on the players as possible, Matthias de Ligt, the moment he got linked, like
Mm,
the moment he got linked to us, started getting in trouble with the law.
yeah,
Oh, what a club!
driving, wasn't it? His offences.
Hit and run
Yeah,
case.
that's it.
It was like he rammed into someone's car and then ran away.
Yeah, caught on CCTV as well, really cleverly, like. But Mazrui, I mean, you've signed him basically to replace. I mean, basically to cover Luke Shaw, but he's almost as fucking injury prone. So really, I mean, the fact that Bayern Munich were looking for a right back, and he is mainly a right back, to replace, even when he was there, they were still looking for a right back, and everything about the move for these two it just seems like Ten Hag's just trying to rebuild Ajax, isn't it?
Yeah, but then like not apparently, but then we brought in people to look after these kind of things, the player recruitment, player analysis, everything. And also, like Ten Hag himself has said, like he needs help with transfers and player recruitment, player identification, all those things. And now, like 2 months on, and it looks the same as it was 12 months before and 12 months before that. Like it, it's like we don't know any players, we have not scouted anyone else. So, hey Ten Hag, who do you know? It seems like that's the case now.
I mean, it's like it's like the Liverpool, the same problems with the Liverpool recruitment this summer, where there's just no thought gone into it.
Yeah, but surely, like Ashworth, he was in a job for a team that has been in a very similar league standing as us. He should have some ideas,
Should
some
do.
scouting files, some networks. I'm really amazed. Like,
Is he as good as was made out? Because it's starting to look like he
no,
might
we will
not
see.
be.
No, we will see. We will see. There's time for that. It's too early to just.
I've got to be honest, I'm not a big fan of. I like Mazrui when he plays. I think he's a very
Yeah,
good
but if
player,
you
but he's just
no,
not.
but if you have to, yeah, if you have to use the phrase when he plays and if he is fit,
Yes,
then
exactly.
it's not worth it.
Matthijs de Ligt, apart from the fact he probably picks up a few too many injuries as well, but he's not anything like that bad. But he's not a particularly good defender, is he? Let's be honest. Maybe he could replace Casemiro in midfield, though. He's certainly a better midfielder than he is a defender.
But if we're moving a defender into midfield, it has to be the butcher.
No, because Martinez, even Ten Hag even said that's why he had to move him into defence in the first place, is because he didn't have the legs for it for midfield.
Ah, maybe
That's what
that
he
part
said.
maybe,
That was exactly what he
but
said.
his game, yeah, but his game is like
Oh,
when you
brilliant.
look at how he plays, he seems like an ideal deep lying playmaker.
Oh yeah, I think he'd be, if he'd improved the stamina and that, I think you'd definitely 100%. He'd be perfect there, but
Yeah,
apparently
but
not.
if he didn't have the legs in Holland, then
Yeah,
there is no way you can even contemplate trying it in the Premier League.
no, you guys derby team. See, but Delict looked really good in midfield when he was playing there. So I'd have, if I was going to sign him, it'd be for midfield, but I wouldn't sign him to pay him the huge amounts of money and all that.
No, we've signed him. We've signed him. I've said enough about him before. I am
I
actually
know you love him.
interested to see how he fares.
Yeah, will be interesting. Jaro Riedewald, speaking of Dutch player, no, yeah, he's Dutch, isn't he?
Yeah, that's an ex-Ajax.
Yeah, I was going to say Dutch ex-Ajax players, but I suddenly thought, hang on, is he actually Dutch? Yeah, anyway, Crystal Palace left Crystal Palace to go to Royal Antwerp. Lino Souza has gone on loan to Bristol Rovers from Villa. Brooke Norton Cuffy's gone from Arsenal to Genoa on a permanent note, that one. I see Zerdan Securi's been released by Chicago Fire. I like him. It's hard not to. He's such a likeable character. But, yeah, you wouldn't sign him, would you? Let's be honest. Not him.
No, you could have just said, speaking of injury-prone players.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like we're covering quite a lot of injury-prone players back to back.
And Chesney's left Juventus as well. Still young, and he still looks young enough to have a few years left in him, doesn't he?
Um, uh, Liverpool and Chelsea calling.
Yeah, I mean, as a backup or third choice keeper, he looks to still have a bit of time left in him for either of those. Oh, surely I can't see him as a first choice anymore, unless maybe someone like Bournemouth, one of the lesser sides, is after a keeper. But
Yeah, if someone is looking for a stopgap for 1 or 2 years,
yeah,
an experienced guy, maybe someone who can like who you bring in as first choice and then eventually get him second, third choice. He seems to be a decent shout.
hmm. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, Benjamin Gruder? No, Brian Gruder, sorry. Left Mainz to join Brighton and Hove Albion. That's quite a big signing for them. Not sure.
25 odd million, no?
Yeah, I'm not sure how good he is, but he's very highly rated. I mean, Muller goes on about him, doesn't he, Thomas Muller? So, when you got someone like him in your corner, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're actually good. But it does mean, people talk about you. And leaving Brighton to go to Feyenoord on loan is Ibrahim Osman. And I think that's it. Oh, one more
No,
thing.
there's Jorginho Rutter.
Hmm? Oh, yeah. Is that done now? I know they agreed to pay the
No, they're
release.
playing the release clause, so
Yeah,
it
but it
probably
isn't
will
actually
go through.
completed yet, is it? I was only doing ones when they're completed. So the one I
Yeah, but
was
this is the one I was talking about when I said like they're moving Undav on, and now they're bringing in
he
Rutter. So
doesn't score goals. He scored. I think he scored 6 last season. So he's not
for
exactly.
40 million, it's not worth it for them. I would say to take the risk because you already have a young guy. You already have a young guy who you have a couple of young guys, not just one actually, to play in different attacking roles. With Undav, you get what I've. It's been the word for today. Like you get a variability. You get a different option. It's a
Hmm.
difference. But let's see how the new coach fares there. What ideas he has.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching them because they've got to be better than they were under De Zerbi.
I imagine if he's not even as good as De Zerbi.
Yeah, you'd have to, but he's very highly rated here, so the people, so expect them to do well under him. What was the other thing? Yeah, Mauricio Pochettino's got the job of the US national team, hasn't he? So
Has he taken the role?
I
I know
believe he got
they were.
appointed earlier today.
Ah, so I've not been in the loop.
Hang on, let me just see if I can find anything on it. I'm sure I saw he'd been appointed today. Well, I
Oh,
read.
it says expected to be named.
Oh, is it just? I read somebody said he'd been appointed, but maybe they'd jumped the gun, like, because it was definitely he'd done how he'd get on, talking about how, one of those coach's voice or similar to that. It was. It
Now,
wasn't
if
even like it wasn't even like a dodgy one. You know what I mean? It was one of those ones that usually do it afterwards. So I'm a bit surprised at that.
so, does this mean his career is at the top in this?
It does definitely suggest that he's on the slide, doesn't it?
What like or realistically, what can you expect as a good job done at a job well done for USMNT? Because okay,
Qualify.
you get no, they don't need to qualify. They're already in the World Cup because
Yeah, but I mean that's it. Once you've qualified, for each future tournament, that's it. That's really as far as you can really expect, isn't it?
now I guess you have to see how they do in the regional competitions and then how they do in the World Cup. But then World Cup it also depends on the draw, how lucky you get or not.
Oh, I tell you what, we didn't mention when we were talking about Everton points deduction. There's also Forest. Forest will have another one as well. So it isn't just that it's both of them of.
But could Forest and Everton not sell off their training grounds? Maybe the seats in the stadium.
They
Maybe
must
maybe
have
the
a. Maybe
goalpost
they could
net.
borrow a hotel. Yeah, I mean, some of
Surely
them
they
have
could
had it.
sell up the nets. They said they don't own the nets, and the nets are worth millions and millions.
Well, it certainly works if you're called Chelsea, doesn't it?
Because how do you justify the valuation, whether it is too high or too low or whatever? But how do you justify it if it's the same? It's like isn't that the issue with us trying to buy Todibo anyways?
Yeah, because how do you value it? You know, but
Then how do you value the stadiums and the hotels and the properties, the roads, the toilets, the dining tables, whatever there are? How do you value that?
well,
How do you
apparently,
say that is a
you just
good
say
value?
this is how much we need to keep us clear of PSR and give us a bit of money to spend. That's how
Yeah, but
much we
how can
value it. That seems to be what they did.
now that is what you try to do as the owners, but as the governing body, as the people who look after the accounts, that verify the accounts, the Premier
See,
League
for
or FA
me,
or whatever it is.
I would say if I'm the FA, I'd say the Premier League, you shouldn't be allowed to sell your training ground and that anyway, because without that, you're in trouble as a club if you've got to rent that out. You suddenly, that's
I am really fearful for Chelsea. Like if things really start going down south, if things go pear shaped, then like this just reminds me of what I know of Derby. What happened with Derby?
mm,
I'm no expert, but this is what happened. Like they buy players, they try to get to the holy grail, and then they fail. And new manager, back the manager again, sack the manager, new manager, back the manager, and then all of a sudden you have too many players on the books, too many players on long contracts, on big contracts, on money that no one else is gonna take them up on. And then you start selling this part of the club, that part of the club, and then one day something goes wrong, and then what happens? Administration.
exactly. It's ridiculous. You should never let a club should never be able to sell off their ground. If they own their own stadium, they should never be allowed to sell it off, and they shouldn't be allowed to sell their training ground because they're the two things that are essential to be a working football club.
Uh, that is the actual things you value the club on when you're trying to do the buying and selling.
Hmm. Yeah, if you somebody's buying the club, they're two of the most important things.
Yeah, because the players they can come and go. You buy a club, maybe next morning, let's say you have a superstar player. Let's say you are Manchester United, you're Ineos, you bought Man United, and then Bruno comes 2 months later and says, "I want to move." That can happen, right?
Yeah,
But Old Trafford isn't going to come and say, I don't want you as owners.
yeah, exactly. And it's something that you own, and you can rent out to earn extra revenue, which you can't do
Yeah,
with
now every time, like, okay, a big event is planned for Stamford Bridge, concert for Taylor Swift, maybe.
yeah,
Now they can maybe Super Bowl say, okay, I know Stamford Bridge is not that great, but let's say Super Bowl says we want to organize a match here. They can't take the revenue into Chelsea Football Club now, can they? It
no,
has to go into the owners.
yeah, that's going to the other company. It's a real stupid. It is a stupid thing to do. Now they've got to pay because now they'll have to pay rent. That's how. This is how when the scammers, the scammers that buy clubs just to asset strip them and make money out of them for the long term. Before selling them on, and then they keep hold of the because that's what they do. They sell the ground to themselves and sell the training ground to themselves, and then they'll sell the actual club on to someone else, and then say, yeah, but you've got to pay this in perpetuity. You've got to pay X amount every month to use the ground, and X amount every month to use the training ground. That's how you get in trouble as a club. So. Stupid, really is stupid. Speaking of stupid, I see a Bissouma who's got suspended for the first game. Did you see that, the laughing gas video? He posted it up himself. Of himself sniffing nitrous oxide, even though it's illegal to do so in the UK. It's like, fucking idiot. I mean, what's how? Oh, but he's had a few attitude
Why do it?
problems as well. So.
Yeah, it's not the first time he's got into some uh, off the field issues. But why? Firstly, why do it? Secondly, what? And more importantly, why publicize it?
Yeah, I mean, just don't use the social media obsession with them. Scary. What else is of interest? Calvin Phillips looks set to join Ipswich on loan. Strange one. Why would they even want him? I mean, how bad must they be that they think he's going to improve? And see, that's the kind of signing that will cost them any chance of staying up, in my opinion. Arsenal trying to sign Marino from Real Sociedad, aren't they? Because I don't know, if he's the one that played for Newcastle, I mean, he was like major, so slow. He can't have suddenly turned into Usain Bolt since then, can he? So I can't see why they'd want him. He couldn't keep up with the pace of the game back then when he was a youngster. He's certainly not going to do now, is he? And Bournemouth agreed a club record deal for that Evan Nilsson from Porto. I think it is. Which is... Well, obviously they haven't got Richard Hughes doing their negotiating anymore, so they're actually signing players. Let's be honest, that seems to be what's happened there, doesn't it? The Liverpool women have made a signing, so I'm assuming they don't. I'm assuming Richard Hughes wasn't just busy doing that, was he? He doesn't work for them. He doesn't work for both the men and women's team, does he? And that's why he hasn't had time, because he was too busy signing them for that. I don't know.
It's. Well, it's just now it's start of new season, so you see how it goes for everyone.
Yeah, well, Man United aren't ready according to Ten Hag.
Yeah, I saw that. Thank you.
That's a strange
Thank you for telling
make.
us.
That's a really strange comment.
Ever brought this point before or not, but Ten Hag seems to have finally learned that you need friends in the media. He was too unreceptive until last season. And now he's just giving interviews, giving snippets. Not just interviews. We need to make it clear. It's not just about talking to the media. It's giving them content. It's giving them information that they can then pull out and put out and get clicks and views and all that, just to drag attention. Someone needs to tell him to now just calm down a little bit.
He's given away too much away. I mean, that was a bit.
He's sharing too much.
Another transfer that's gone through is Brentford defender, that's Zanka. Remember him? Danish lad. He's left.
I know of
left
them.
them on a
Yeah, I know of
to go
them.
to Anderlecht. So that's another Premier League transfer that's just gone through. He's like 34, so I'm not really a surprise. He was only on the fringes there. Like, yeah, there's not really been a lot happening with transfers, though, has there? You know, I know there's been a couple joined, but they're not like there's no transfers that have really whetted the appetite, has there?
It's because Arsenal haven't signed someone that big or that monumental. I know Calafiori, but he's the main issue with Calafiori is not someone who they desperately needed in terms of role definition position. City have signed Sabino, who nobody has actually watched play.
Yeah.
And for all of us, it's not City have signed. It's City have finally brought him back to the club.
Yeah.
It doesn't count as a true signing for us.
Yeah, it's
And
not really a
Liverpool have signed
transfer, is it?
nobody. Yeah, Liverpool have signed nobody. Man United still have a lot of holes in the squad, in the team. And then Chelsea have signed so many players that you just can't keep track.
But it's not just that, it's in general across the whole of Europe, and there's no really exciting transfers because, like, Kylian Mbappe had been known to be going there for about 20 years, so it's not really a big, it's not a exciting
And Bayern
anymore.
have signed no one. Yeah, Bayern have signed no one of like a big significance. And then P- PSG haven't actually started. They've not replaced Mbappe yet. They probably will make the moves.
Yeah, what's happening with PSG? They seem to have gone very quiet. Normally they'd have gone out and splashed big to show that that they're still a big club or something, wouldn't they?
Yeah, it's almost like the Qatar World Cup is already in the back bench.
Yeah, yeah, it's like they've
In
had
the back
enough now.
burner. Yeah, the World Cup's already done now. They're probably like, had we pumped this money into some other club, some other league, then we would have gotten more in terms of value.
Hmm. It was a strange choice to choose PSG, it must be said.
No, it's because Paris is a big city and big name, but Ligue 1 was
That's what I
fifth.
mean. Just by putting it into League One, that was a very strange choice. It's nothing league with no following around the world. So, oh my God, Hernandez just come on for Atleti. I didn't realise he was still playing.
Who?
I, you know what I mean? Lad who used to play for United.
Oh, Chicarito.
No, Hernandez. Oh, is it Hernandez? What's his name? Is it Hernandez?
Herrera.
Yeah, the one that played for. He went for. You signed him from Atleti.
Oh, Athletic Bilbao, you mean under
Yes.
Herrera.
Yes, that's it. Ander Herrera. That's it. What did
No,
I
you said
say?
Hernandez. My
Hernandez.
brain.
Sorry. Oh, did I? Fucking
It's
hell.
not. It's not
Because
Hernandez. It's Ander Herrera.
why did I say Hernandez? Maybe because of the other player next to him. Yeah, because he's got Ander Herrera written on his back. I don't know why I said Hernandez. I don't know what that was about because it literally his back's right. It was right in front of me, and it said on his back. It doesn't even say Herrera. It says Ander Herrera. So I don't know where I got Hernandez from. Fucking hell, what? Oh, that's one of those strange ones. Yeah, it was. Ander Herrera just come on. I didn't even realise he was still playing for them. I honestly didn't. I actually thought he'd retired.
Yeah,
So.
but why is the season starting on a Thursday?
Because Spain are weird. La Liga is weird. I mean, there's sometimes a lot of their fans would complain because you wouldn't even know what time a game was kicking off or what day sometimes. You know what I mean? They just didn't decide until they decide like an hour or two beforehand. So at times, that's why they had such trouble building up a TV audience because they would just change the time and date and no warning. Just decide now we don't want to play then. We'll play at this time instead. So
Well, Getafe only have like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players on the bench.
really, I
Yeah.
don't know. I didn't see the bench. I only put it on part way through, so it's just been on and about. That's why if I'm sounding a bit distracted, it's because I was watching bits of it, like just to see how they got on.
Oh, I was just gonna say why is Unai Simon not playing, but he's injured. Wow, holy shit, he's injured till December.
Who's that?
The goalkeeper, the Athletic Club goalkeeper, Spain international, like the
Oh,
guy who's not for Spain, Unai Simon.
that's it, Simon. Yeah,
He's out till December,
yeah.
but he was playing last month. When did he pick up the injury? I mean, oh, I need to get back into football.
I'm trying to remember when he got. Didn't he get injured during the Euros?
Oh, please don't ask me anything about the Euros. I watched 0 minutes.
I think so. I think
And by the way, congratulations to Spain national team. They won the Euros and then they won the Olympic gold as well.
hmm, yeah, I didn't watch either myself. I mean,
I don't even know who played for the national team. Not national team, the Olympic team for Spain.
no me. I don't know who's in it. I mean, the only things I've
I
seen
know
in the
Olise.
Olympic.
I know Olise played for France and Thierry Henry was the manager, and that's it.
Yeah, because you've seen clips. But like, yeah, the only thing I know in the Olympics is that the Australian breakdancers is shite, and that shooter, Turkish shooter, is
Yeah,
obviously an
Western
assassin
Jacob.
in real life.
Like I was watching like the graphs of the performance, and
Oh
apparently
yeah,
he was
he would have
participating
won
in
the
the
gold.
he was
He could have
participating in
done.
the like 2-person event, like uh, two two people from same country, and then their score is averaged out. And had he participated in a single person event, he would have won gold. Wow.
Yeah, because he was in a mixed doubles basically, wasn't he? With and he's the he's the only one without all this stuff on his hand. And the way he does it, he just stands there with his hand in his pocket. I mean,
Not
it's just
it
it's,
doesn't even wear, isn't it like he's wearing slippers, not
yeah.
even shoes, and half pants, like shorts, whatever you guys call it, shorts.
See the footage of him with his daughter. You just thought, there's one girl who's not gonna get bullied at school.
No, it just seems like he was sleeping in his room. Someone made him come down. We have an activity, and then it just goes in. Uh,
Yeah, he's on
just
holiday, isn't
aces, yeah,
he? Yeah.
just aces it, and then like, oh,
Yeah, he's on holiday. He was just, that's it. They've said to him, hey, you know what? We have got no one to do this shooting for, because you fill in for us. Like,
yeah, I know you're retired, but we need to make up the numbers.
yeah, we got, because this girl's got no one to shoot with. Like, she's going to be on her own, and it's like, it'd be a shame if she's come all this way. Because you do us a favour and just fill in, and then he's just gone and just, oh yeah, okay. And walked there. I mean, he was so his results. He would have won the individual gold if he'd have competed in it. What? Why is he not in the individual events then? This is what I want to know.
Maybe like you speculated, someone fell out last moment.
But you've got to.
But why was he retired if he's so good? Still
Yeah,
so good. That's the question to ask.
he's. It's. I like it now. He's probably the one person everybody knows from the Olympics as well.
No,
Like,
there's someone else everybody knows from the Olympics.
you're gonna say you mean Reagan, don't you? The Australian breakdancer.
No. I mean I just forgot the name. It was right on my mouth. The
Oh, the
Algerian
pole vaulter
woman's.
guy with the big penis that knocked
Oh,
off the
there's
bar.
another one. Yeah, Paul Walton.
Yeah.
No, I meant the Algerian women's boxing gold medalist.
Oh, yeah,
You
she
might.
won it, didn't she? Yeah. She, whatever. I'm not actually sure. Was it? Did it turn out? Because like, there's an argument raging over whether it's a man or a woman as well, isn't there? So.
No, but what is a fact? Like, what is a fact is that person
Oh, good
was
go.
uh, uh, banned. No, not banned. Disqualified from competing in one of the
Yeah,
women's
that's what I'm saying.
boxing
Because they
events.
said it was a man, and the boxing, the boxing federation had said it was a man. One of the whatever the federation was for that particular event, it said no, it failed the sex test, and it's a man, so they wouldn't allow him to compete or her to compete or it or whatever them.
They
I don't
slash
know.
them.
Yeah, I don't know why you refer to him. I don't want to. But yeah, so yeah, they've dropped boxing's been pulled out of the Olympics for the next, for the foreseeable, and it because of it. They've dropped it from the 2028.
Yeah,
Why?
but they're adding cricket.
Why the fuck would you add cricket? That'll last.
Is there an
What game
Olympic
will
for
last the
chess?
entire fucking Olympics?
No, there should be chess in Olympics as well. That is what it should be. It should
See,
be chess.
things like that, I don't mind being in the Olympics because there's an actual thing. One of the ones I don't like. I mean, don't get me wrong. I actually quite like breakdancing. I love watching it. It's fantastic when it's done well. You know what I mean?
But it's
It's
not
amazing.
sport.
But when I don't like things like that and diving and ice dancing, things like that, where it's very subjective who wins. You know what I mean? It's just like when you've got it when you
Yeah,
get
but
in this
the one that got like
any of
so
them.
I don't know who it was. The guy was that the men's event or the women's event? But whichever, there was an absolutely perfect dive at this year's Olympics, like 10-10-10 on the
Oh
ball,
yeah,
and it was
yeah.
that one was well worth the 10-10-10.
Was it? I don't know how you tell. I honestly
Yeah, but
don't know.
there's literally no water splashing. Like
Yeah,
this.
but I mean,
I
surely
know
you
what
have
you're
to
saying.
do
It
twists
is
and
it.
things. Surely that's what makes it is those kind of things. It's like
No, no,
I don't
you
know how
are
you
right. Like
tell.
when it's judges, when it's people judging, it is a subjective thing.
Yeah,
However objective might anyone be, it is always going to be subjective. But
yeah. For me, those shouldn't be in the Olympics because they're not object. I think it should be things like. See, if it's boxing, it comes down to a judge's decision. I don't think it should count either. I don't think they should fight until it's. I think they should have to. It should only be much as it.
one
They
guy
should.
can't continue. Maybe it's
No. It
stamina,
should
maybe
be. They
whatever
should
it is.
establish a point system of proper. Where there's like you have with taekwondo and karate and judo and things like that, where you have to where hits register as points, so you can actually tally it rather than being a judge's points where they're again subjective. Because it can be just because he's more attacking, he's walking forward and the other one's defending. Doesn't mean he's actually winning, does it necessarily? Just because he's walking forward more, but like some judges are like that and rate that higher than another judge. So again, it's subjective. It should be if he hits, that's a point. If he doesn't hit, that's not a point. If he hits actually target rather than arms or that's how it should be. Like fencing, there's a definite. You have to do something, and you can tell when somebody's done it to get the point. So you know.
Yeah, yeah, I get your point. So there are subjective elements there in many of the sports.
Yeah,
But a lot of those sports are not actual sports, if you ask me.
ice dancing and stuff. You mean? Yeah,
E-
break
Even
dancing.
even
It's hard
even
work. Don't
even
get me
jumping,
wrong, but
yeah, even diving and
yeah,
breakdancing and whatever else, like they're not sports. They may be games, but even that they're not. But they're
yeah.
definitely not sport.
Yeah, for me, I don't think. I think you've got to have an actual point scoring system where it's actually an objective point scoring system where anyone can tell. Like football, even if you don't, you can tell because you can see how many goals have gone in. Okay, sometimes they might be disallowed, which can confuse, but there's actually a reason why they're disallowed, even or should be. You know what I mean? There's rules governing it, laws governing, and you can tell who's won. You should have always know the result is. And but something like ice dancing or diving or um break dancing, things like that. It's just one person's opinion decides it, doesn't it? At the end of the day, it's just opinion. God, Ander Herrera's come on and been absolutely shite since he come on. They've conceded, and he was partly at fault because he gave away a stupid free kick. He's been fucking awful. He looks like he's retired, to be honest, and has just turned up and they've said, "Oh, can you just fill in for this for a bit? We're short a lad. Can you just pop in and bless him." I always actually liked him because he was a real trier, and I liked that in a player. But he looks like he's finished now, to be fair.
He was already struggling with injuries at the back end of his time at
Yeah.
United, if I'm remembering correctly, and then the PSG stint didn't go that well either.
Yeah, that's right. I was trying to think where he went after you. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, but
PSG.
that's the issue with their policy. Like they just can't go out and bring in players willy nilly. They have to try and get maybe make up the spaces in the squad with players like Ander Herrera, or that's the restriction
But that's
from
their
the
own fault
transfer
because
policy.
they get rid of all the kids that come through from their academy, basically. That are any, no matter how good they are, they don't seem to give them a chance. They just seem to farm them,
Who?
just get rid of them. PSG. You
No,
talking about
no, no, no.
PSG?
Sorry, I was talking about Athletic Bilbao.
Oh yeah, they're stuck.
Why
Yeah,
why
that's
is
all they
still
can
there?
get
Oh,
because they've got to be
PSG,
Basque.
they're a different kind of mess.
Yeah, Bilbao, they're kind of stuck because who can they buy that's Basque? There's not a lot. There's not a lot of choices there. You can't really go out and say, yeah, we'll just buy whoever. They've got plenty of money, pay big wages. I see Nico Williams is on now, isn't he? Is he on? No, he's not come on. He's just still waiting to come on. God, it's taken a while. Oh, oh, Anderer actually made a challenge that didn't result in a free kick. He didn't foul him. Didn't win the ball back, but he didn't foul him.
Yeah, but I'm gonna keep an eye on
Ah, here he
what
goes.
happens with Nico Williams.
He's coming on now. I don't. Do you know what? I think from what he said is he doesn't want to leave and all that, and I can see why because they've done so much for his family. You know what I mean? Because obviously they were refugees and that.
And also, like, he doesn't have to be desperate to move. If you're advising him, you can, like, easily make sense. Like, you have time on your side. You're on good money as well, so
I was gonna say you're
it
probably gonna
can't
have to
even be
take a
bad.
pay cut to leave.
Yeah, you can't be tempted by money. Like, for a lot of the players coming through at smaller clubs, it's very easy to get their head rolls down by the money. But with him, he has enough money, and then, like you said, the club and the city as a whole, the region as well, has given them a lot.
Mm, yeah, exactly. If you're him, I actually can't see a reason why you'd want to move, unless it'd have to be a Man City or Real Madrid. If you're a Real Madrid fan, but he's not, is he? He's not a Real Madrid fan. He's not come out and said he's a Real Madrid fan. So there's no actual reason. The only reason you'd want to is if someone like Man City came in, offered to pay him bigger money and give him the chance to win trophies. I mean, obviously, someone I'd say out. That's why I was taking back. I was going to say Barcelona, Real Madrid as well, but then I thought no, because like the situation he's in, that would feel a bit like stabbing Athletic in the back, wouldn't it? To move to Madrid or Barcelona. So
But then he might also say, like, I've done really well for Athletic. I'm gonna face them
true,
good chunk of money, and then
but they don't need
he
the
can
money.
even say he can even say, like, I've won a trophy with Athletic Bilbao. How many players can say that?
They don't need the money though. That's the thing. They've got plenty of it. They're the only Spanish club with money to spend. When they do says La Liga has a salary cap. They've never been in trouble with it at all. They've never been one of the ones who's had to go, oh shit, we need to sell players to get within it. They've got plenty to spare because they simply can't buy anyone or, they just. So even when they get money in, it just goes into the bank basically and earns interest. Because what can they do with it? Who can they buy?
Yeah, if they had a better player than someone who's as good a player, better than Nico Williams, then someone else would already take them away.
Yeah, yeah, there ain't many better than them out there, is there? Let's be honest. So, especially not in Basque, that are Basque um, origins. That's the word I was looking for. It's a very limited pool. It's impressive that they've. I don't think they've been relegated, have they? Since from La Liga. Because obviously La Liga didn't start until like something like 1950s or something, did it? Didn't start as early as a lot of leagues. They were still playing, regional football, the Spanish, for a long time. Williams Jr. What's the other one? What was his brother? What's his brother's name? Nico Williams' brother. I don't say the other Nico at Forest because. Can you remember what it is? I can't remember what his brother's name is. Shit. Iñaki. Oh yeah, thank you, Alex. Iñaki Williams. That's it. I don't know why my mind just completely went blank. My God, there's somebody listening. I'd forgotten we were still going. I'd forgotten we were still going. We've been talking about the freaking Olympics and chess and being it and cricket's going in it and all that. And we completely got. I completely forgotten we were recording, to be honest, until I just looked and noticed that. Oh shit! I'm really sorry. We've just been rattling on and just having a conversation while watching the football, basically.
While you're watching the football, not me.
Oh, I thought you were
I'm
watching
just
it as
struggling. No. I can't wake up, get up from bed, and then it's too much effort to go to the next room and switch on the television.
Yeah, lazy shite, hadn't he?
No, I don't even actually know if La Liga is shown over here.
Really? Alright. They actually show a lot of football here, but it's not always easy to find. And some of the ones that they don't show, it seems. Oh, nice hit, Nico. Nice hit. Good save that. Good save. Comfortable height in that and close to him, but still, his power. It was coming in close as he was curving into him. Didn't see that first off. It looked like it was going away from him, but it was actually curling in towards the keeper to make it easier. But still, decent save. Plenty of pace on that. Anyway, yeah, I think we should call it there because we've gone way off thing. We're just not talking about anything to do with the pod at all, really, are we? I don't know why. Why is somebody listening? I mean, they must need a cure for insomnia. That's all I think. I hope you sleep well tonight, mate, because you're bound to now.
Maybe.
No idea why he's listening now. Yeah,
Maybe we're very good ASMR material. Who knows?
Yeah, it's only 7:42, so he's not even looking to sleep.
Ah, okay.
So
anyways, mate, if you really want to hear our dulcet tones, then you can play this back.
Yeah.
I hope you do.
Yeah, listen to as many times as you want. We don't mind. Yeah.
No, you don't even have to actually listen to us. Just let us, just leave it on play and then get on with it.
Yeah, go on the other room, whatever. We don't mind. Just, listen to it as many times as you want, or put it on.
Yeah, play it on loop.
Yeah, put it on loop and then leave the room. Yeah, we're fine with that. We don't care. We'll have that. All good. Yeah.
Anyways, mate, see you next week when the 21 charge is over already.
Yeah, we'll have the first the season weekend finished. So.
No, which one do you think ends first? The transfer window or my optimism for 21?
Cheeky man, he said, to be honest, I've never listened live. I always catch up next day, so glad to find out I wasn't missing much. Cheeky bastard. Can we ban people from this? Oh, we can't. We got nobody. We'd have nobody listening to us if we banned one person.
No, we would have -1. No, we would have -1 listeners like we did once before.
Yeah, we've done that before.
How does that happen?
Yeah, we're that good. We can get -1 listeners.
Anyone can do 1,000,000. Anyone can do 10. Anyone can do 100. But no one can do -1.
Except us. We're that good. We're just a class apart. That's what it is. I mean, we get people listening and we're not here. We've forgotten we're going. Let's be honest. Anyway, sorry, mate. Sorry to have kept you listening to
See
that
you next
rubbish.
Thursday.
See you next
Good luck for
Thursday.
next
Take
season.
care. Oh.
Yeah, bye bye.